good start. The season favors us as far as home games are concerned early in the year, and then towards the end of the year we start moving around a little more. So let's get off to a good start, and spring training is a springboard for that.
I got to ask you, there's two question marks, I guess, for you, I would say, would be center field, number one,
yes,
and who's going to be the closer. But the great thing about the closing situation I look at, all three of them could close.
I agree with you, Ron, and they're all throwing the ball so well here this spring. The amazing thing is that we can't go wrong with any of the three. Now, you take a look at the three individuals. Kerry Wood, I mean, he's really throwing the ball well. He's got the tenacity to do it. He's got the stuff to do it. We've got to find out if he's going to be durable enough. With Howery, look, nobody pitched better than Howery the second half of last year. I thought this guy was just outstanding. He's had trouble the past 2 years getting out of the gate. We got to see how he's throwing the ball here towards the middle end of spring training. And then the youngster Marmol. I mean, he's got electric stuff. Last year he threw strikes. Throwing strikes here in spring training with a year's worth of experience. There's the other guy. So, they all give you three different options, and we're not going to be able to go wrong with any of the three. I think they all can do it. At the same time, we're going to have Dempster every opportunity to start, and we're trying to find a good young arm that can take his spot in the bullpen. And just thinking out loud here, we got a kid named Sita that throws the ball really well. Escano that it's pitching today that we got from Atlanta, a really good arm also. Hart, the young man that came up in September and pitched so well for us. Petrick, keeping him healthy. So we've got some nice choices here. And then one other thing in the bullpen that we're probably looking for is maybe a left-hander that can help Scotty Air out. And Neil Cott so far has really thrown the ball well. He doesn't have the load on his shoulder of winning a spot in the rotation. He's just looking for a second left-hander's job, and he's responded well and thrown the ball. But this is what these spring training games are for. Center field, PA, the kid Fool. I mean, they're both good players, and we're going to let them battle it out. And then probably about the only other thing that I can mention here is where do we have Fukudomi in the lineup, and I think we'll move him around just a little bit. He's hitting third today. I know he fits into the 2-hole. We might look at him a little bit in the 5-hole. And that's it. The rest of it, let these guys play, get them in shape, and stay out of their way.
Well, it sounds great, Lou. And it's just great to be down here and getting ready for a big season.
I feel the same way, Ronnie. I really do. I like our ball club. I really do. I know that the National League as a whole has gotten a little tougher. Our division has improved, but so has our baseball team, and these kids are confident, and so am I, so we're looking forward to an outstanding season.
Lou Piniella, the fine manager of Chicago Cubs, and we'll be right back with more baseball on the Cubs Radio Network.
My hat for me, and you let my husband take a picture. Would you do it again on the bill? Thank you so much. Sorry I interrupted your life.
Sorry, we interrupted you.
But we're so happy to see you. You're feeling well. You're looking great.
Thank you very much.
I hope we win today.
Oh, we will.
Central pregame on News Talk 720 WGN is sponsored by Binny's Beverage Depot and National City Bank. Well, what began in 1998 continues 10 years later. Kerry Wood begins 2008 with really an undefined role. He's certainly in the mix to possibly close, but if that doesn't pan out, then it's back to the setup role, a position he excelled in, especially as the season went along in 2007. Wood was certainly a hot commodity this offseason, but in the end decided to stay a Chicago Cub. Earlier, I sat down with Kerry and asked him why.
Well, you know, Chicago's home for me. I mean, this is all I know, and you know, people say sometimes change is good, but you know, I wasn't not ready for change yet. I think I still have something to prove to this organization and something to give back to this organization and the fans. And you know, I gave a little bit last year. It was nice to get back, but my main objective is to win a championship in Chicago and to win a World Series. So you know, I'm going to stick here as long as I can, and as long as they'll have me, or until we get that done.
What impact did both Lou Piniella and Larry Rothschild, you guys go back a long ways, have on that decision as well?
Well, like I said, Larry's known me for quite a while now, and we've worked good together sometimes and not so good together sometimes, which is kind of the relationship between a pitcher and a pitching coach. But you know, Larry knows me just about better than anybody in the game, probably better than anybody in the game. So it's always nice to have that guy on your side and with you when you're doing your throwing, and just, you know, little things here and there to let you know what you can work on or what you're doing well, and just little reminders. So you know, and Lou last year, the time I was there, was great, but you know, it's nice to have people around you that know you.
Physically, is this the best you felt in a long time coming into the start of a season?
In a long time, yeah. And yeah, we'll keep it at that. Long time. I feel great, and you know, it'll be nice not to have to answer all the health questions this year.
Were you clicking on all cylinders just physically with your stuff right at the end of the season? Did it kind of hurt that the season was just ending as you were just getting back into your regular season form?
Yeah, you know, like I was saying earlier to some guys, it felt like I was, you know, when the season was over, it felt like June for me. You know, I felt like I was just getting going. I had 20, 25, 30 innings in or whatever it was, and really felt like I was just getting going. So my last 10 outings last year, I felt probably as good as I felt in a long time, and I was obviously sorry to see it come to an end so quick in the playoffs, but you know, I took a little bit of time off and got right back to it, and felt even better this offseason when I started throwing. So everything feels great.
From a team perspective, the team played so well last year. It came to such a quick, abrupt end. Does that add even more hunger as a competitor coming into the start of 2008?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely in the start. I mean, obviously once we get going in the season, you tend to forget a little bit about what happened last year towards the end, but because you're worried about what's going on during the season and where you are and what you need to do to win games. But definitely in the start and spring, everybody's got that, you know, that bad taste in their mouth from last year, and I don't think there's anybody in here that's going to say that they weren't disappointed with the way we finished last year. We played good enough to get into the playoffs, and we were playing fairly well going into that, and you know, it didn't happen for us. We didn't do the things we needed to do to win, and ran into some good pitching. So, you know, that's the playoffs. So it's do or die, and we died a little bit too quick last year.
And last question for you: your role with this team is kind of undefined right now. Do you like that not knowing exactly where you're going to fit into this pitching staff?
You know, for me, it's just I know I'm going to be on it, and I feel great. So I think we're in a good situation with Carlos and Howery and Wirtz and the bullpen that we have down there, and Scotty, and we've got great arms, we've got great guys and competitors down there. So I think you know, our bullpen's we feel like we're going to have a strong bullpen, and you know, regardless of whatever role I'm in, I'm going to try to do it to the best of my ability, and whether I'm setting it up for somebody else or what have you. But I think the mentality of everybody in that bullpen is the same. When they're in the game, regardless of what inning it's in, they're in there to close the door. So we got plenty of guys down there with great stuff, and we should have a good time this year.
And our thanks to Cubs pitcher Kerry Wood for joining us here on Cubs Central pregame and for appearing on today's pregame show. Kerry receives a gift certificate from Harry Carey's legendary Italian Steakhouse. We'll take a break. A look at the Cubs Central Sports Wires coming up next. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Flown more than I have, but it's been awful. In fact, my husband just talked to a friend of his who's supposed to snow there tonight. Yeah, that's what we heard. Never stops. Every other day. Relentless. This is beautiful, though. How long has it taken? like to ship some of the other back to Chicago. What?
When I was a player with my kids, I spent time in Chicago. Once the kids
You got out of there. Smart move.
well, only enough.
Well, he is. We know that. He probably has a police force stake now. Take care. Bye.
Club Central Sports Wire on News Talk 720 WGN is sponsored by Crafty Beaver Home Centers and Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating. Corey Provis back inside our WGN Network studios here in downtown Chicago, just about 10 minutes away from the start of the 2008 Cactus League schedule as the Chicago Cubs take on the San Francisco Giants. This is the first full day of spring training today, 11 games in all. Let's begin in the Cactus League. Coming up shortly, the White Sox take on the Rockies. Sox lost yesterday 7-3. This is a split squad game for Colorado. They'll also send a team to take on the Diamondbacks. That game also coming up momentarily. Milwaukee begins their spring training momentarily as well. The Brewers take on the Oakland A's. Claudio Vargas on the mound this afternoon for Milwaukee. Ryan Braun makes his debut in left field for the Brewers, and Bill Hall moves back to third base. Also, the Rangers meet the Angels later on tonight. In the Grapefruit League, a bunch of games already in progress. They're in the sixth inning, and the Dodgers lead the Braves. I should say the Braves lead the Dodgers 1-0 in the sixth. Matt Diaz is homered for Atlanta. Top four between the Marlins and the Orioles, and Florida has a 4-2 lead. Sergio Mitre, the former Cub, got the start today for the Marlins. Houston and Cleveland are scoreless in the fifth. Cincinnati has a 3-1 lead over Minnesota in the sixth. Jerry Gill is homered for the Reds. The Cardinals all over the Mets, 5-0 that game of the sixth. Anthony Reyes got the start for St. Louis, opposed by the Mets' John Maine. Pittsburgh 6, Philadelphia 5, that game of the fifth. Pittsburgh has home runs today from Adam LaRoche and Nate McLeod. Ryan Howard has gone deep for the Phillies this afternoon. Again, 6-5 Pirates, that game in the fifth. And Detroit has a 4-1 lead over Toronto. That game is in the sixth inning. Curtis Granderson is homered for the Tigers this afternoon. Before we wrap up Cubs Central pregame, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Radio Network. And that'll do it for Cubs Central pregame. My name is Corey Provis. The 13th season of the Pat and Ron Show is coming up next as the Cubs take on the Giants in Scottsdale. Cubs baseball right around the corner on the WGN Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Hey everybody, this is David.
presenting our national anthem for you this afternoon. Please welcome retired U.S. Police Department Sergeant Dave Northfield.
Pretty good salad on that one.
Oh, and you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare above the sea gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Scottsdale Stadium, just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. It's a Cactus League battle between the Chicago Cubs and the San Francisco Giants. Good afternoon, everybody. Along with Cubs legend Ron Santo, it's Pat Hughes reporting. It is bright and sunny and warm and beautiful here in Arizona as the Cubs take on the Giants in the Cactus League opener. The starting pitchers today for the Cubs, right-hander Ryan Dempster, and for the Giants, left-hander Noah Lowry. Back to take a look at the lineups and then baseball right after this on the WGN Cubs radio network. Testing 1, 2, okay, let's see there. Testing 1, 2, not quite that much. Bring it back down. Bring it back down. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. That's about good. Okay, that's good. All right, yeah, we'll do that. The starting lineups today are brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Experience wellness everywhere. The Cubs are the visiting team today in this Cactus League opener. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Ryan Theriot will lead it off and play shortstop for the Cubs. Ronnie Cedeno to bat second and play third base. Kosuke Fukudome batting third in right field. Derek Lee at first. Lee, the Cubs cleanup hitter. Matt Merton in left. Giovanni Soto to bat sixth. Soto doing the catching. Alex Cintron to play second base. Cintron batting seventh and playing second. Felix Piet will start in center, and the Cubs starting pitcher, right-hander Ryan Dempster. For the Giants, Dave Roberts will lead off in left. Batting second and playing shortstop, Kevin Franzen. Randy Wynn hitting third, Wynn in right field. Aaron Rowand, the former White Sox and former Philly, Aaron Rowand in center. Eliezer Alfonso to bat fifth and do the catching. The Giants' first baseman is Dan Ortmeyer. Scott McLean, former Cub farmhand, at third base. McLean hitting seventh. Eugenio Velez is the Giants' second baseman, and batting ninth, left-hander Noah Lowry. Again, a beautiful day here in Arizona. The Giants have taken the field. The Giants' uniforms, they are wearing black shirts with orange numbers. They've got the white pants, black socks, and black shoes. The Cubs, the visiting team today, over here in Scottsdale. The Cubs wearing the gray trousers, dark blue shirts, red numbers, and the blue hats. Scottsdale Stadium, beautiful Cactus League facility here. It's a big park, 430 feet to dead center. Down the line in left, 360 feet, and down the line in right, it is 350. The Giants always draw very well in Cactus League play, averaging over 10,000 a game a year ago, and it looks like we'll have a good-sized audience on hand today. Maybe not quite a sellout, but it looks like it'll be close to a sold-out ball game. The umpires, Ron Culpa calling balls and strikes, Rick Reed at first, Gary Darling, the second base umpire, and Kerwin Danley working over at third, and we're ready to go. Ron Santo, our 13th year together. Let's have a great year.
Yeah, we will. We will have a great year. There's no doubt about it, Patrick, and this is going to be a good year for the Cubs. No doubt about it.
Left-hander Noah Lowry pitching for the Giants. First offering very high, and away we go. Ryan Theriot leading it off for the Cubs. Ryan played shortstop and played very well at short for the Cubs a year ago. The little right-handed batter waits and takes a strike. That's a fastball. Ronnie, tell us about Noah Lowry.
Well, Noah Lowry has got a very, he's about 90 miles an hour, good breaking ball, change up.
Here's a ground ball up the middle, off the leg of Lowry. Bare hands, bobbles, infield single. Ryan Theriot with an infield hit. He hit it a soft line drive up the middle. Lowry knocked it down. It rolled behind him. He scrambled after the ball, tried to barehand it, bobbled it, never had the handle, and Theriot has a leadoff single.
When I saw Theriot the first day in spring training, he came out, I noticed he's got his arms are a little bigger. He was doing a lot of weightlifting, and he says, I do that every year, and you probably just didn't notice it, because he loses weight during the year.
Ronnie Cedeno steps in. Ron, here's the pitch to Cedeno. It's a strike, and the count is 0-1. A couple of the Cubs regulars are not here today. Aramis Ramirez and Alfonso Soriano did not make the trip to Scottsdale. They will be in the lineup tomorrow over in Mesa when the Cubs play these same Giants. From the stretch, the lead at first by Theriot, the pitch. It's outside for a ball. It's 1-1. Were you a big weightlifter when you played?
No, that's one thing they told us not to do. So isometric stretching exercises. I did have that, rope that hangs down and had about a 5-pound weight. Use it for my wrist.
Cedeno swings at a high fastball, doesn't get it. The count 1-2.
You know what I'm talking about? You ever do that? You have a little bar, you have a rope tied, and with a 5-pound weight, and you roll it up. And then you roll it back.
I have seen that. Is that stimulating?
Yeah, very.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Cedeno. No score, top of the first. Now Lowry, the Giants left-hander, deals, and Cedeno takes strike 3 call. A fastball on the inside corner. He set him up for that one with some off-speed stuff away and then zipped the fastball over the inside edge.
Well, he can do that. He's got a good fastball, Pat, and, you know, you get 2 strikes. That's one thing you worry about as a hitter. A guy that can throw the ball in the 90s, bust you inside, and it just freezes you.
Speaking of freezing, it is 24 degrees back in Chicago right now, we understand. And for those of us who have endured the winter, it has been a wretched stretch of weather. Here's the first pitch to Kosuke Fukudome inside, and it hits him in the right arm. The left-handed batter, Fukudome, gets hit. He's okay running down to first. Kosuke tried to spin away from an inside fastball and got nailed. First and second with 1 away, and the batter, Derek Lee.
Not a good thing right there. I mean, first time up in the United States and gets nailed.
Again, he appears to be okay. Fukudome at first, Terrio at second. Let's see if Derek Lee can put the Cubs on the board.
Got a lot of speed on those bases.
Lee hits it foul in the air down the right field line, out of play. Fukudome thinks he might be able to steal between 15 and 20 bases.
Oh, yeah, he's got good speed, Pat.
Ryan Terrio led the team with 28 steals a year ago. He was only caught 4 times. That's a very good percentage. Derek Lee had 22 home runs a year ago, drove in 82. Lowry bluffing a move to second, Terrio back. I look for Derek Lee to have a bigger season this year.
Yeah, last year the power was down. He didn't start hitting a few home runs till really the second half, but it'll be different this year.
He finished with a .317 average a year ago. Nothing wrong with that. Lee takes a fastball high, 1-1.
Well, for a big guy, he's got it all. He can hit for average. He drives it in runs. He hits home runs.
And he's one of the best first basemen you'll ever see.
Wow.
No score, top of the first. Cubs at first and second, 1 away. Lee with a count of 1-1. Lowry, a backward glance at Terrio. The pitch, fisted foul, out of play. 1-2. Lowry, a big guy, Ron, 6'2", 210. And he had a very good season a year ago for a Giants team that finished 20 games under 500. Lowry was 14-8.
Yeah. He's a guy, Pat, a left-hander that's pretty much a power pitcher. That ball gets in on you really in a hurry, and that was the pitch right there that that Lee fouled off. He got jammed with that.
Now it's 1-2. Lowry to Lee. Derek takes a fastball outside. It's 2-2. The outfield shades Derek toward right. The left fielder Roberts is a full 70 feet off the line.
I think if you look at Derek Lee's time to bat and where he hits the ball, and there is scouting like that.
Now the 2-2. A little bit low and in. It's full. Let's keep an eye on the runners. Will they be going?
I think so, yeah. Derek makes contact. I mean, he's a hitter like Derek, number 4 today. Yeah, they should be running.
The fleet-footed Terrio away from second. Fukudome away from first. The stretch in the pitch. There they go. It's outside ball 4. He tried a change-up, and it dropped low and away. Lee showed good patience laying off that pitch, and now the bases are loaded with 1 away, and the batter, Matt Merton. And you were right, Ron. The runners were moving. Now Merton with a chance to put the Cubs ahead early. No score in the first, bases loaded, one away. Merton hit .281 in part-time duty a year ago, had 8 home runs. 2 of those came as a pinch hitter.
He had some big hits. You remember that.
Hits it foul off to the right and out of play.
You know, he didn't get a lot of playing time, but when he came to bat and right situation, he's a pretty good clutch hitter. And watching him, of course, the first game, but in batting practice, and it looks like he's in a groove.
And that part-time job is always a difficult one.
Yeah.
You might go 4 or 5 days without playing. Here's the 0-1. Very high a ball. Watching Lowry, he's throwing mainly fastballs and changeups, which a lot of pitchers do in their first 1 or 2 times out in the spring. Ron, a lot of guys don't even throw curves or sliders until their 3rd or 4th time.
No, they want to really get the ball over the plate, and they have better control with that fastball than they do the breaking ball. And you know, here with the air being light, that breaking ball doesn't break as well.
Now the pitch, very high, a fastball, wild pitch back to the screen. Terrio scores. Cubs lead 1-0. Down to 3rd goes Fukudome, and Lee to 2nd. That pitch just got away from Noah Lowry. A fastball way over the head of the catcher, Alfonso.
Do you think it was a fastball, or do you think it might have been a changeup, or it just slipped out of his hand?
It was just a bad ball, Ron. Let's call it that. That hit the screen on the fly.
I mean, you don't even jump for a ball like that.
2nd and 3rd, a run in the bank. Cubs lead 1-0. Infield back. Merton waits for the 2-1. It's a breaking ball off the inside. It's 3-1. So the Cubs have an infield single, a hit batsman, a walk, and now a wild pitch for their run. And a chance for a couple of more.
Well, this is what you get in spring training.
Ball 4 to Merton. Back-to-back walks. Lowry wild here at the outset. And Dave Righetti, the longtime pitching coach for the Giants, heads out to the mound. Righetti, former closer for Lou Piniella. In fact, when Righetti pitched for the Yankees back in the mid to late 80s, Lou Piniella was the manager, and it was under Lou that Righetti set at that time an all-time record for saves in a year. I think he had 46 one season. And it was Lou Piniella, Ron, who was one of the first managers to make that save situation a one-inning gig.
Yeah.
Lou was one of the first guys.
I know it, and that's the way, really, like most managers would rather go that route. But if you don't have a good setup, man, you got to go with that closer. And for that base on balls, any Cub player who draws a walk today, Walgreens will make a $100 contribution to my walk-a-thon for the cure for JDRF. And we thank you, Walgreens.
Giovanni Soto, the batter. Bases loaded, 1-0. Cubs batting, top of the first. Nice and warm here in Arizona, the pitch. Very high, ball 2, 2-0. 84 degrees in Scottsdale today. The game time temperature brought to you by Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons. Soto hits a high pop-up on 2-0. He got a pitch to hit, and he got under it. Infield fly rule in effect, and the ball caught by Ortmeyer, the first baseman. That's frustrating for a slugger, Robert.
It really is, and he had a pitch, and he knows it, and this is a kid that he's going to have a good year. I really like his bat. I love his attitude. He's a very hard worker and a good receiver with a good arm. We really got a plus this year behind that plate.
2 outs. Soto popping out to the first baseman, and here is Alex Cintron. Cintron, a switch hitter, batting right-handed. The pitch by Lowry. It's low and away, ball 1. Cintron has played with the White Sox and with Arizona. He's a switch hitter. He's got a little bit of power.
Mm-hmm. And he can play short, second, any place in the infield.
The 1-0. Cintron swings and misses over a sharp breaking ball. It's 1-1. Speaking of second baseman, Mark DeRosa back in Chicago. He is scheduled to undergo a procedure today involving his heart. Here's the pitch. Fastball is high, and the count 2-1. And when the results of that procedure are explained to us and known to us, we will certainly pass along the news. 2 balls and 1 strike on Alex Cintron. Here's the pitch. Ground ball left side. The third baseman gloves it, takes it to the bag. McLean gets to the bag ahead of Derek Lee, who did not slide at third base, and the inning is over. But the Cubs scratch out a run on a hit. There were 2 walks, a hit batsman, and a wild pitch, and the Cubs leave 3. And at the end of a half, Cubs won, and the Giants coming up. This is Cubs preseason baseball, brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort on the WGN Cubs radio network, with Cubs legend Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Arizona, Scottsdale Stadium, good crowd, nice and sunny and warm, not too humid, just a few little small clouds off in the distance. A perfect day for a ball game. There is a pitch in there for a called strike to Dave Roberts. Ryan Dempster, Ron, is going to make the transition from the closer's job to a starting pitching assignment. That's his goal, at least.
Well, you know, Pat, I think it's going to be...
Big chop over the mound. Glove by Dempster with a high reach, and he throws to Lee, 1 away. Good play by Dempster. Ron, go ahead.
I think it's going to be an easy transition for him because that's what he came up as, a starter. And when he was with the Marlins and knowing what he has gone through as a closer, he did a pretty good job. I mean, but Dempster's the kind of guy that really wants to start, and he was very happy to get back to his starting position. And of course, he worked very hard this winter. You know, when you start, your stamina, you got to build it up, and he's worked very hard. Did he get hit?
Kevin Franzen, the batter. Franzen taking a strike.
Yeah, he felt he got hit, but
might have foul tipped off the bat. Again, Ron Kulpa calling balls and strikes. Dempster coming back 0-1. And a breaking ball is just outside. The count is 1-1.
And I asked him what his repertoire was going to be, and he said, I'm not going to go with the curveball. I'm going with the fastball, slider, changeup.
There's a strike in the count, 1-2. Dempster, a big man, 6'2", 215 pounds. This will be his 10th big league season. He was a starter for several years with both Florida and Cincinnati. He was an all-star for Florida in the year 2000 as a starter. Now the 1-2 to Kevin Franzen. Check swing, it's down low in the count, 2-2.
You know, as a starter, you've got to pace yourself. You're not going to start off throwing 95-mile-an-hour fastballs if you could. He's in the 90s. He's 92, 93, and he's got a good slider.
Here's a big chop to the second baseman, Cintron, a routine play over to Lee, and that's out number 2.
And, there's a perfect example. He's pretty much had a four-seam guy, but it looked like he threw a sinker that time. So he might be working on that sinker because those are 2 ground balls so far.
Got the ground ball out, 2 down. Cubs lead 1-0 here in the first, and here's Randy Wynn. Wynn, a switch-hitting outfielder. The pitch by Dempster is down low. The Giants without Barry Bonds for the first time since about 1993. Giants were next to last in run scoring a year ago. Not only did they lose Barry Bonds, who was not re-signed as a free agent, but Pedro Feliz also left as a free agent and signed with the Phillies. Now Dempster coming back 2-0 to Randy Wynn. It's in there for a strike. The Giants did acquire Aaron Rowand, signed into a 5-year deal as a free agent, so he'll play center field. But
that was a good acquisition right there.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Here's a deep drive to right. This is going to be back toward the wall, and it is gone. A home run. Randy Wynn slugging one over the right field fence. And just like that, the game is tied 1-1 here in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, there was a fastball right there, right down the middle of the plate, and he took advantage of it, Randy Wynn. Line drive. That ball was gone the minute he hit it.
Fair by about 20 feet, gone by about 10. These are big parks in Arizona, but the ball really carries. Wynn had 14 homers a year ago, and here is Aaron Rowand. Stocky right-handed batter, a Gold Glove caliber center fielder, and he lines a base hit to left. Solid single for Rowand. Dempster got the first 2, but Wynn has homered, and now Rowand has singled, and here's Eliezer Alfonso.
Well, both on fastballs, and maybe it's location, but the one thing he's doing that I like, and you were talking about that with Lowry, throwing strikes. He is throwing strikes, and that's the key.
Alfonso takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Ronnie, how about as a hitter? Your first few at-bats in the spring, how do you approach those?
Pat, it's different for these guys.
Bounced foul left side.
Because, Pat, they start hitting probably, I'd say, the end of December, maybe into January. When they come to spring training, their timing's pretty good. When I came to spring training, if I'd get in the batting cage, I'd miss 3 or 4 of them. But, timing was everything. All you're trying to do, because you're facing your own pitchers.
Check swing on a high fastball. Did he go? No swing. The Cubs thought he went. First base umpire Rick Reed said no swing.
But when you take that cage away, both sides, it's you feel a lot more free. You don't feel like claustrophobic, and all you're trying to do is make contact.
Bouncer back of third, foul. Behind the bag, Cedeno gloved it on the wrong side of the line, and the count remains 1-2.
So, you really you always like to get off to a good start. I've always looked at spring training of having a good spring training average-wise, because most of these guys at the beginning of spring training up until the end, maybe the last 10 days, you're seeing a lot of fastballs.
Here's a high fly ball, deep center, playable for Felix P.A. He's got it to end the inning. The Giants get a run on a couple of hits. The homer by Randy Wynn evening up the score. And at the end of 1, Cubs 1, Giants 1. This is Cubs Cactus League Baseball, brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort on the WGN Cubs radio network. Pat and Ron with you from Scottsdale. Each team getting a run in the first. If you are just joining us, the Cubs scored on a wild pitch by Noah Lowry, and the Giants tallied on Randy Wynn's solo homer. We go to the second. Felix Pie leads it off. Lefty to lefty. Lowry's first pitch is up and in, ball one. 1-0.
Well, I talked about PA, Pat, and he's more erect at the plate. He's standing much taller. He used to bend, and with that bat back, he had a lot of movement in his swing, and during batting practice I watched him. He's hitting the ball pretty well. Let's see what happens. So,
PA, slender left-handed batter, has some pop.
Oh, yeah. If he gets a hold of one, it'll go.
Here's the 2-0. In there for a called strike, and it's 2-1. Beautiful Scottsdale Stadium. The grass is very thick on the infield and the outfield. There is quite a bit of room in foul territory as well. Here's a pitch inside, and the count now 3-1. And a lot of space out in those alleys. 430 feet to dead center.
Well, PA's got to be looking for the ball down the middle. He got it.
And a foul back, 3-2.
That's one thing you know in spring training, Pat. These pitchers early get behind, they're going to come in. They're going to throw strikes.
Peter Chase is here, the Cubs media relations director, and he has some information regarding Mark DeRosa. And it's good news. Here's the 3-2 pitch. PA takes high. That's ball 4. It's a leadoff walk. Another pitch that was not even close to the strike zone. Mark DeRosa, according to Cubs team physician, our good friend Dr. Stephen Adams, Mark DeRosa today successfully underwent radio frequency catheter ablation. And that took place at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. He is resting comfortably, and his wife Heidi is at his side. But it sounds like everything went very favorably.
Yeah, I almost had that done when I went into atrial fib, but his situation, really, he never, and I'm not a doctor, but I've been through these.
Ryan Dempster bunts back toward the mound. Ortmeyer, the first baseman, picks it up and throws to first with Velez, the second baseman, covering first. And it's a good sacrifice bunt as PA goes to second with one away. Back to the top of the order for Ryan Theriot.
Anyway, my heart went in atrial fib, and usually shocked to get it back. His is a little bit different. He never went out of sinus rhythm. What happens is after they shock you, you go into regular, get back to sinus rhythm. And his was more of a 10-second type thing, and they can go in and fuse that, and it'll stop that from happening.
Pickoff throw to second, off the glove of the shortstop, and staying at second is PA. Shortstop Franzen bobbled the throw from Lowry. It rolled away, but not far enough.
I hope you understood that.
Well, I was a little confused when you said sinus rhythm. To me, sinus would sound like it's up near the nose somewhere, but that's just me.
That's right.
But we're happy that Mark DeRosa is doing fine. Here's the pitch to Theriot. Line toward right, a base hit. PA to third. He will hold as the throw comes in over the cutoff man's head. Holding it first is Theriot. Wynn missed the cutoff man. First and third, one away. The ball hit too hard for PA to try to score. Mike Quaddy, the third base coach, holding PA at third. Theriot hit that ball sharply. He's 2 for 2.
Wow, he does that very well, boy. He makes contact, goes the other way.
Our thanks to Peter Chase, though, for the information on Mark DeRosa.
Oh, it's good news.
Peter is doing some extra work on the sinuses of Mark DeRosa now. Might get another report later on. It's not sinus?
No, it's what your heart, when it's regular, goes into. That's what it's called, sinus rhythm.
Ronnie Cedeno bounces one to third. Bobbled, and everybody is safe. A run scores. McLean, the third baseman, bobbled that high bouncer And PA comes in to score, safe at second. Terrio, Cedeno at first. That'll be an error on the third baseman. And Bruce Bochy, I think, is going to make a pitching change. McLean, the third baseman, reached up for the ball. I think he was going to try to start a 5-4-3 around the horn double play, but he never got the handle.
That's exactly what he's doing, was going to try to do, and probably just get the runner at second, but he had no chance to go after PA with that high bouncer.
Lowry has made a lot of pitches in the first inning and a third, and he will leave after his first stint in the Cactus League, so we'll take a timeout. And we'll be right back in a moment for this pitching change. For a quick oil change, go to Jiffy Lube. Second inning, Cubs lead 2-1. Back in a flash on the WGN Cubs Radio Network. Billy Sadler is the new Giants pitcher. The Cubs lead 2-1. We are in the second inning with one away, a run in. Cubs at first and second. Kosuke Fukudome will bat for the second time. He was drilled on the very first pitch he saw in the right arm. And now he'll face the right-hander, Billy Sadler. Sadler, a 6-footer, weighs 200 pounds, born and still lives in Pensacola, Florida.
Fukudome wears the number 1.
Kosuke, again, a left-handed batter. Holds that bat high behind the left ear. Here's the pitch on the way. Fukudome takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Fukudome, a star in his native Japan, played for Chunichi for many years. Fukudome, 6 feet tall, 187 pounds. Here's the stretch. The 0-1. Way outside for a ball. The count 1-1.
I was given a little book that teaches you to speak Japanese, and I think you could use that. I really do.
I was given that same book. I haven't delved deeply into it yet, but I know you have, Ron. That's the kind of guy you are.
It went deep.
Do you still have the book?
No.
Where might that book be?
Where it belongs.
Has it been recycled already?
I don't know.
1 ball and 1 strike to Fukudome. It's in there for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Well, you were a big hit in Japan.
Yeah.
When we were there a few years ago.
Big hit, all right. I took a big hit.
You did. You fell a few times. These things happen. Balls were late at night, as I recall. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Fukudome. Now the pitch. Slap foul off to the left and out of play, and the count is Still 1-2. 2-1 Cubs, second inning.
You got to admit, though, I got right back up and continued on.
Yes, you're a gamer. Now, we've told that story many times. It was after a dinner. You were just overserved, I think, a little bit during dinner run. That's all that happened.
Those things happen sometimes. You don't realize until you get out in that fresh air.
I didn't realize it until you slid and almost knocked me out into the street when you fell down. Here's the stretch in the 1-2 pitch. Low and inside, the count 2-2. No, we had a nice dinner at a good restaurant.
Delicious.
You and myself, and I think Chip Carey was with us that night.
Yeah.
And you were wearing your cowboy boots.
Yes, I was.
And they had this little, I don't know, a little drain pipe.
Yeah, a little drain. That's what I slipped on.
Right outside the door. The runners go. The pitch outside for a ball. Double steal, and the count 3-2 on Fukudome. Cedeno stealing second, but it was Ryan Terrio who had the big jump going second to third.
Boy, he sure did. He had that made, and I thought they might throw down to second base. Cedeno went in standing up.
Infield back with one away. Cubs lead 2-1. Here's the pitch. It's high, ball 4. They're loaded. Well, that's what we were told about Fukudome. I know it's only his second plate appearance in the spring run, but they said he's a very patient hitter and he will draw walks.
And I noticed, when I watch hitting, Pat, and I always talk about Roger Hornsby, and I always felt very strongly that the shorter the stride, the quicker the bat. And he has a very short stride and stays back on the ball. He's a patient hitter.
You want those guys on base ahead of hitters like Derek Lee, who bats right now. The pitch. Lee hits it in the air to right, foul down the line, out of play. Cubs lead 2-1, second inning. They had a chance for a bundle in the first inning, but settled for only one. Let's see if they can turn this into a big inning right now. And they've got the right guy up there. Lee had a base on balls his first time. Again, the infield back, the stretch by the right-hander Sadler. The pitch. Check swing on a high fastball, and he went too far.
What'd you think?
It was close. I think he could have appealed to the first base umpire, Rick Reed. I'm talking about Ron Culpa, the home plate umpire.
Yeah.
Culpa.
Oh, he's the one that called it.
Yeah, he made the call himself.
Yeah, okay.
0-2.
I was looking at the first base umpire.
Lee hits it foul, a defensive swing, protecting the zone with 2 strikes. Terrio the runner at third, Cedeno at second, Fukudome at first. William Sadler, a right-hander, ready for the strike 2 pitch. Low and inside, a curveball to Derek Lee.
Yeah, that looked like a backup curveball. What I mean by that, it didn't break at all. But it took, you could see that he was trying to throw the curveball because of the lack of speed.
Breaking ball inside. It just missed, and it's 2-2 on Derek Lee. Big gap in left center for Derek at the moment. Rowand is shading Derek toward right center, interestingly.
Well, he hits a lot of balls over that way.
The 2-2. Swinging a high drive, right center, deep. Back goes Rowand. He will get there to make the catch. Tagging and scoring is Terrio. Cedeno advances to third after the grab, and the Cubs lead 3-1. Derek Lee, a sacrifice fly. You just said Derek Lee hits a lot of balls to right center. That one was to right center, about 10 feet shy of the warning track. Lee gets the RBI, and here's Matt Merton holding at first Fukudome. Cubs lead 3-1. And the redhead Matt Merton ready to step in. Keep an eye on Fukudome at first. This might be a spot for him to run. Here's the pitch. Merton takes down low. Sometimes you want to get that second guy into scoring position in a spot like this.
I noticed, the phonetics of his name, it is May at the end, M-A-Y, Fukudome.
Fukudome, yeah.
But why do they call him Fukudome?
I'm not sure that they do, Ron. But
Well, they do.
here's the pitch on the way. Merton takes in there for a called strike.
Because I said Fukudome, and somebody told me, no, it's Fukudome.
Well, I'm just going by what I'm reading right here. It says Fukudome,
Yeah,
M-A-Y.
I said.
That's
I
what I'm
agree.
going with.
Yeah, I mean.
Here's a chopper to the second baseman, Velez. Velez doesn't care how you say the guy's name and makes the play to first to end the inning.
Velez is tough to see anyway.
A lot of them are, Ron. Cubs score twice, one is unearned. They leave a pair, and at the end of an inning and a half here in the Cactus League opener, it's the Cubs 3 and the Giants 1. Ryan Dempster out to pitch the second inning, delivers a strike to the left-handed batting Dan Ortmeyer, and it's 0-1. Cubs lead by a score of 3-1 here in the second inning. Dempster coming back, swing and a miss. Good sharp breaking ball, 0-2. This might be Dempster's final inning, Ron. What do you think?
Yeah, I was told Lou's going to go 2 innings with them and 2 with Gallagher, and then some
swing and a miss, strike 3.
Good changeup there. That changeup I meant to say is a fork or a split finger. I'm not sure, but
one away here, bottom of the second. Cubs lead by a pair, and the batter is Scott McLean. McLean, former farmhand for the Cubs, had a good Cactus League some years back and almost made the big league team.
Yeah.
Played for Japan for a while, played over in Japan. Here's a bouncer foul left side by McLean. It's 0-1. Ronnie, I enjoyed the pregame show that you did with our good friend Corey Provis.
Yeah, Corey will be out here last week. He'll head to Vegas with us, and then of course Matt Bolts will be coming out. I don't know if he's meeting us in Vegas or coming here and then going to Vegas with us.
Swinging a foul at the plate by McLean. Corey Provis about ready to start his second year with Ronnie and me, and Matt Bolts will begin his 8th season as the producer-engineer of Cubs Radio.
Yeah, 8th year.
How about that?
Well, I tell you, that he was, 24 when he started?
Fastball, strike 3 called. McLean out number
nice.
2.
Very nice.
He didn't look like he was looking for that fastball.
No, he was not, and it was right on the corner, outside corner.
2 outs, bags empty for Eugenio Velez. Cubs in the regular season a year ago beat the Giants 5 out of 7. They took 3 out of 4 at Wrigley right after the All-Star break in July. There's a bouncer to second. Scooped up by Cintron over to first. The play goes 4-3, and the Giants go 1-2-3. Good job by Dempster. We go to the third. The score, the Cubs 3 and the Giants 1. Giovanni Soto to lead off the third inning for the Chicago Cubs with Cubs legend Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Scottsdale, Arizona. We thank you for joining us today in this Cactus League opener. Here is a fastball strike, and the count is 0-1 on Giovanni Soto. Soto popped out his first time. The new Giants pitcher is right-hander Kevin Correa. Next offering is outside. The count 1-1. For every pitching change, they're brought to you by Jiffy Lube. For a quick oil change, go to Jiffy Lube. Our engineer, Walt Ellis, here in Arizona today. Thanks to Walt for keeping us organized. Here's the 1-1. Down low in the count 2-1.
After so many months off, and you come back and you get that recorder, I've always had a problem. But Walt.
Deep drive to left, down the line, hooking in the corner. Long run, Roberts in the corner. That ball is foul on the warning track, Ron.
He helped me out to remember, and, the worst thing that happens, Pat, and I think probably you remember when you used to do interviews, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And you think you got it working, and then you do a great interview, come up, and there's nothing on it.
It's a lonely feeling,
It's
isn't
very
it?
lonely. And then they have to go back and do it again.
Yeah, that's embarrassing to ask the
absolutely.
same guy for another interview. That's happened to everyone who's ever worked in our business, though.
Yeah.
The count on Soto, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cubs lead 3-1, third inning. Here's the pitch. Fouled away, back over our heads and out of play. That had some sting on it.
Oh, that came to eat.
Were you ready for your 6th goal?
Did you see me moving this way?
Not real quickly.
No, I was going the other way.
2-2 on Soto.
Oh, man.
Correa's pitch low and away, a check swing, ball 3. 3-2. Well, I know a lot of people back home, Ron, have been looking forward to this day for Cubs games to start. Even though they're just Cactus League games, this winter has been brutal back in the Midwest.
Geez, Pat, I really...
Line to left, down the line, that's a foul ball to the corner.
Yeah, I've understood, and just being there for the convention and 30 below zero. But the sad part, usually the sun will come out once in a while, but boy, to have snow, and then when it doesn't snow, you freeze, and then it snows again, and then you freeze again. Oh man! So this will make them feel a little better. Like we know that the weather's going to improve. I sure hope so.
Well, once you get baseball games on the air, at least there's that thought that soon there will be some pretty decent weather coming up.
Yeah. We'll keep our windows closed, though.
Well, probably till about July 1st.
That's right.
3-2 on Soto. Correa's pitch. Line to left, there's a base hit. Very good at-bat. He had about 5 good swings.
He's a good hitter. He really is. They're going to be very happy, the Cub fans, with Soto.
Right. Let me ask you about a young catcher like Giovanni Soto breaking into the lineup. First of all, let's talk about offensively, because it would seem to be a good spot for a young guy to break in. And I say that because he doesn't have to do it all by himself. You've got Aramis Ramirez, Derek Lee, you've got Alfonso Soriano, you've got Kosuke Fukudome, other guys with power, so he doesn't have to carry that power load.
Well, Pat, you bring up a very good point, because I've always felt
Cintron fouls
today a lot of guys come up to the big leagues, but when you come up with another teammate or another guy in the minor leagues, there's not as much pressure. And if you don't have a good ball club, it's more pressure. But you're exactly right. With this club, all he's got to do is be himself, and that's what he does. I mean, when he came up, look at the year he had in AAA. MVP.
Cintron bounces one to first. Glove by Ortmeyer. The left-hander throws to second, one back to first. That is not in time. Safe at first, Cintron. They get the lead man, Soto. One away. Cubs lead 3-1, top of the third, and the batter, Felix P.A.
But and they can say, well, okay, I know there's pressure for me to stay, but I don't have to rely. You don't want that rookie to come up and figure he's going to turn things around for you if you're not doing well, because that's just more pressure. But it eases the pressure, and I was amazed how quick when he came up to big leagues. And wasn't it right before?
P.A. pulls one to right, deep, back goes Wynn. It's off the wall. Rounding second, going to third, Cintron. A stand-up double for Felix P.A. A rocket to the base of the right field fence.
Oh, I told you, he's, we'll hope, he's really been swinging the bat and turning on the ball very well. And, that's a tough adjustment, too, Pat, for a guy that comes to the big leagues a certain way to make a change, in your stance or with your hands. We'll just have to wait and see.
Second and third, one away. Cubs lead 3-1. Third inning, Mike Fontenot will bat for Ryan Dempster. Dempster looked pretty sharp in his first stint.
He did.
Threw strikes, gave up a solo homer, but that's not a big deal.
No, ground balls, and had a couple strikeouts, and did well.
Infield back, the right-hander Correa set. The left-handed batting Fontenot takes outside for a ball. Getting back to Soto, it's never easy, Ron, and you would know firsthand. It's never easy to break in to the big leagues anywhere, especially in a big market like Chicago, where there's so much interest. Here's a deep drive to right. This ball might leave the yard. Back is Wynn, back to the wall. Gone!
All right!
3-run homer, Mike Fontenot. Cubs lead 6-1.
Pat, I'm not saying it. I was going to say it before, but in batting practice, I've liked Fontenot. I mean, this guy can hit, but he's a guy that's got to play in order for him to hit, Pat. And that little guy swings a hot bat.
A towering drive over the wall in right center, gone by plenty. A pinch hit 3-run homer for Fontenot, and the Cubs lead 6-1, and here is Ryan Theriot taking a strike. But, Ronnie, it's never easy to break into the big leagues.
No.
And on a big media market like Chicago with 40,000 fans watching and millions watching and listening every day, here's a bouncer up the middle, base hit. Terrio is 3 for 3. But I would say that for Soto, the conditions are just about ideal, though, regarding the type of lineup that he's going to try to fit into.
Yeah, and you got to remember also, very young. He doesn't know. He knows a few of the pitchers. Don't get me wrong, but it takes a little time. And the one thing I've noticed, pitchers like to throw to him, so that's another plus.
Cedeno lines it back foul. I was ready to dive under this table.
I was leaning so far to the left. I forgot there's a net. I guess there's nothing to worry about, right?
Okay. If it just clears that net, though, it could sneak in and say hello in a hurry. 6-1 Cubs in the third. Bouncer foul toward third. Brian Terrio, 3 singles, doing his job as the leadoff man.
Yeah. And a stolen base. He's a spark plug.
He's a good ball player.
Yes, he is.
We talk about that type of attitude that he brings to the park every day. That's what you need on a team. You can't expect every guy to have that attitude, Ron, but you need 1 or 2 or 3 guys that show up every day with one idea only. Try to help my team win the game.
That's it.
Do whatever it takes to help us win today's game. Here's the pitch. Big bouncer slowly hit left side, charging. Leone, the third baseman, throws it away at first. Wild throw into the stands. Runners end up at second and third. Justin Leone gloved that chopper on the second hop. The third baseman made a running throw and a wild throw to first. Runners at second and third with 1 down for Kosuke Fukudome.
They don't know who they're going to play at third base. That's a weak position for the Giants this year.
Second error from that spot. McLean made one earlier. Again, Pedro Feliz has been their third baseman, and he left as a free agent and signed with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Here's Fukudome taking a fastball high. The Giants got bad news regarding another infielder yesterday, Omar Vizquel.
And I mean, he probably won't even be ready for opening day.
Omar Vizquel had knee surgery yesterday on his left knee. He's out 4 to 6 weeks.
And you got to remember, he's 41, isn't he?
He'll be 41 shortly, yeah. 11 gold gloves. Here's the 1-0 to Fukudome. Line foul off to the left. I've noticed Fukudome has that little leaning style, Ron, where his body slightly leans forward as the pitch comes in.
Well, I've noticed that when we were in Japan, watching high school, they all seem to hit the same.
The next offering, fastball high.
There was another example, but if you really look at him, it's almost like the trigger he needs to get the bat going.
Again, he's a left-handed batter, holds the bat high, and takes a strike in the count 2-1. He also holds the bat well away from his body.
Yeah.
But if you've seen Ichiro Suzuki, the great Japanese star who plays for Seattle,
right? If
you've seen him kind of lean slightly forward as the pitch comes in. Here's a bouncer toward third, fair, base hit, down the line, a run is in. Cedeno will stop at third, and holding at first on an RBI single is Kosuke Fukudome.
Yep.
Scoring is Terrio. Cubs lead 7-1. He slapped it.
Yeah, he slapped it. Exactly.
Pitch was away from the left-handed batter. He reached out and just slapped it down the third base line past Justin Leone.
And to get that first hit, the first game, I know it's spring training, but you like to do that.
Cedeno held at third. I think that's going to be it for Fukudome.
Who's coming in? What number?
This is going to be Josh Kroger, I believe.
Okay. Left-handed hitter, outfielder. Swings a bat. He had a good year last year in the minor leagues, Pat. He hit 30 home runs.
He's a big kid. He's leading at first base right now. Infield back for Derek Lee. First and third, one away. Lee takes a fastball strike from Kevin Correa. And for some reason, the public address system is playing music right in the middle of Derek Lee's at-bat. There's a foul ball off to the right and out of play. Derek Lee kind of looking upstairs as if to say, why?
Oh my God. What?
No balls and two strikes on Derek Lee. Ron is now dancing in our booth. Here's a pitch high for a ball.
How do you like this?
I'm sure our listeners can hear this music. This is very unusual. At least the sprinklers aren't on. 1 and 2 on Lee.
It could put you to sleep.
Here's the pitch. Line toward right, dropping, and that's a base hit RBI, Derek Lee. Coming in to score, Cedeno. Stopping at second is Kroger, and Derek Lee gets his second run batted in of the day. Getting back to Lee, Ron, I'll tell you why I made the comment earlier regarding I think he'll have a bigger season than he did a year ago. Last year, I think, and I think even Derek would probably agree with this, he was still somewhat in the recovery mode from the broken wrist.
Yeah, he didn't feel he was, but, you know, that's only, like, he felt good, but, you know, it takes a little longer, and I agree there. But he still had a good year.
Lee will leave for a pinch runner as Matt Merton bats. Cubs now lead 8-1 in the third inning. Lee leaving for the runner at first, and we will identify these guys as we move along. That looks like Micah Hoffpar. And that's who it is. Here's a liner to right, a base hit for Merton. This will load the bags as Wynn throws into the cutoff man. Ortmeyer, the first baseman, grabs the throw. Bases loaded. 3 straight Cub hits. Kroger stopping at third.
9 guys to the plate. He led this off.
Hoffpar stopped at second, and Merton gets his first hit of the day. Cubs have 9 hits in the first
3 innings.
Not even 2 1/3.
2 1/3, yeah.
And here's Soto hitting a high pop fly, left side, playable foul territory for Leone. The third baseman gloves it for out number 2.
He swung at a high fastball, and he had a pitch the first time up that he popped up, but that one was a little bit out of the strike zone. You know, you get somebody on the ropes like that, you got to be a little more patient.
8-1 Cubs, bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the fourth. Alex Cintron batting left-handed, facing Correa.
And he'll probably be on our bench.
Cintron takes ball 1. It's 1-0.
Darrell Ward will be back as our left-handed hitter off the bench, who's had a little back problems, but getting a lot better. He really came on, didn't he, at the end of the season?
Some clutch hits.
Oh, man, that put us he helped us win that division.
I remember that 3-run double off Jason Isringhausen in St. Louis on a Friday night in September. Here's a bouncer toward the middle, gloving at the second baseman. Velez steps on the bag ahead of the sliding Merton to end the inning. But the Cubs put a high 5 on the board. Here in the third inning, 5 runs on 6 hits. They leave 3, and in the middle of the third, the score, the Cubs 8, and the Giants 1. This is Cubs preseason baseball brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort on the WGN Cubs Radio Network. With the 9-time All-Star Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Scottsdale, the Cubs thumping the Giants so far. 8-1 Cubs. They got a run in the first, 2 in the second, and 5 in the third. In the last of the third, Sean Gallagher is the new Cubs pitcher. He's a right-hander, and he is scheduled to work a couple of innings today.
And I tell you something, Pat, he came to spring training. You knew last year he was a little heavy, and he's lost a lot of weight. Came in great shape. He's got good stuff. Had problems when he did come into ball games.
There's a high fly ball, shallow left center. Merton and P.A. converge. P.A., the center fielder, grabs it. One away, Ron.
And I think the loss of weight's going to help him throw more strikes.
Justin Leone made the first out with that fly ball to center. One down. Here's Dave Roberts. Cubs have a new right fielder. That's Kroger, Josh Kroger. And Micah Hoffbar is the new first baseman. Mike Fontenot, after his pinch hit 3-run homer, stays in the game at second base. Cubs lead 8-1 in the third. Here's the pitch to Roberts, low and in for a ball. Gallagher, a big kid, 6'2", 235. Still just 22 years old. Born in Boston, makes his home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Here's a pitch outside, and the count 2-1. Gallagher has been used mainly as a starter in the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Now the 2-1, low and inside for a ball. And that's a transition, Ron, we discuss frequently on Cubs radio, the fact that when you're a minor league ball player, you might have one job, a starting pitcher, and then when you get to the big leagues, there's no jobs, there's no openings in the rotation, so you have to learn to become a reliever at the big league level, and that can be a difficult transition for some guys.
Absolutely, and Kevin Hart was a starter in the minor leagues. Kevin Hart now is in the bullpen. And Gallagher, when he did come up, he got an opportunity to start. Then he went to the bullpen.
But they really are two different jobs.
Oh, they're different jobs, and you know, he didn't come out of that bullpen.
Roberts draws the walk. One away, a man at first. Cubs lead 8-1, and the batter Kevin Franzen takes outside for a ball. In the minor leagues, Gallagher, impressively, has compiled a record of 36-15 in 4 minor league seasons.
But here we go now. Soto out there to have a talk with him, and really control was a big problem with him in the big leagues when he came up. Had some problems with control, and you just want to throw strikes, especially spring training.
1 out, 1 on. The pitch to Franzen. Good fastball, swung on and missed. 2-1. But Gallagher, 36-15 as a minor leaguer with a 2.75 ERA over 4 years. And again, he's just 22 years old. Here's the pitch. Line to right, down the line, slicing toward the corner and going foul.
Yeah, you know, you could have, Pat, even in my day, there were guys that didn't do as well in the minor leagues until they got to the big leagues. And all of a sudden, you know, certain hitters, the pitchers were around the plate and became a better hitter, and then it's the opposite. A lot of guys do well in the minors, but come to the big leagues, and it takes them longer to adjust.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Franzen. Gallagher fires to first, not in time. Well, opening day at Wrigley Field this season on Monday, March the 31st. That's right. The Cubs will start on the final day of March. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball. 2 down. And the opener will be very, very exciting. It's always exciting, but the Milwaukee Brewers will provide the opposition. And, Ronnie, that was a great little division race between Milwaukee and the Cubs a year ago, and it might be the first of many such pennant races in the next several years.
Well, you know, that was Bud Selig's dream that we'd have the same type of rivalry that even in my day with the at that time Milwaukee Braves, and the rivalry is unbelievable, and it's already there. I mean, it's a big rivalry, and it's easy for people to be in Milwaukee, and same with the fans in Milwaukee getting to Chicago.
Wind takes low in the dirt for a ball, and the count now is even 1-1. But the Cubs take on the Brewers Monday, March 31st, and that's just the start of a homestand. The Cubs play 6 straight home games. After a day off on April 1st, Milwaukee will continue their series at Wrigley Field the 2nd and 3rd of April. And then the Houston Astros come in for the first weekend, starting on Friday, April the 4th. Here's a pop-up foul down the left field line, back out of play.
And speaking of the Astros, what do you think?
They have some question marks in their pitching rotation. That would be the first thought that comes to mind with the Astros. You love Roy Oswalt if you're a baseball fan. But after Oswalt run, I would say they have a lot of question marks in that rotation.
And they got rid of Brad Lidge. Of course, he got hurt again, added a little knee.
Pulled on the ground at first. Glove by Hoffpar. Takes it to the bag, and that retires the side. We'll continue talking about the division, the Central Division, when we come back. Good job by Gallagher. The Giants don't score. We've played 3 in the Cactus League opener. The score, the Cubs 8, and the Giants 1.
From the WGN.
Pat Hughes and Ron Santo in the Cactus League. The Cubs lead 8-1. We move to inning number 4. Again, the Cubs are at home the first week of the regular season, starting on Monday, March the 31st against Milwaukee. Then Houston comes in on April 4th. There are plenty of tickets available for the 2008 season. To purchase Cubs tickets, visit Cubs.com or call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Ron, getting back to your question about Houston, Houston has picked up a couple of everyday players, which should allow them to score some more runs. They've got Miguel Tejada to play shortstop, and they've got Kaz Matsui to play second base. So when you add those guys with Carlos Lee and Lance Berkman, they should be a team that should score a decent number of runs. But again, I think their starting pitching would be their biggest question.
And that's the key right there, Pat. I mean, you can have all the hitting you want. You don't have the starting pitching. You can't, you can't keep.
Deep drive to right off the bat of Felix P.A. It's got a chance. Gone.
How about that?
Felix P.A. with a double and now a home run, and the Cubs lead 9-1. Save some for opening day.
Yes. Well, it's a month away, so why not get it now?
P.A. pulling one over the wall in right. It's a new Giants pitcher, and we will certainly identify him as soon as we possibly can. Walt Ellis, our engineer, seems very concerned about helping us to identify this pitcher. Walt is sitting in the back of the booth with a Wall Street Journal wide open. Here's a chopper foul off the bat of Mike Fontenot. Cubs lead 9-1 here in the fourth. The next offering lifted to center, well hit, but playable for Aaron Rowand. And he pulls it down for out number one. One away, fourth inning. Cubs with their second homer of the day.
Yeah, and for that home run, Pat, by PA, Chevrolet is going to make a donation to the WGN Radio Neediest Kids Fund. So, nice going, PA.
If we don't find out the name of that guy in a minute, we'll have to make one up. Here is a swing and a miss by the new Cubs batter. This is Andres Blanco. Andres Blanco. 9-1 Cubs in the fourth. Giants pitcher Henry Hurler coming back, and it's off the outside for a ball, and the count 1-1. Again, I told you we'd have to make one up.
He is,
Come on, Henry. Apparently it is Henry. Here's a swing and a line drive over Ortmeyer's head. The first baseman made a leaping try, couldn't grab it. Base hit for Andres Blanco.
Is it Andres Blanco?
I certainly hope so.
Well,
no, that's Blanco.
61. Yeah.
Blanco for the Cubs at first.
Oh.
And here is Ronnie Cedeno batting. 9-1. Cubs have scored in every inning. And the pitch on the way. It's taken high for a ball. Hurler missing upstairs with a fastball. But the Central Division, last year it was, let's be honest, it was not a strong division. It was competitive. Here's a swing and a foul back, but the Cubs were the division champs with only 85 wins. Milwaukee in second place with 83 wins.
It's 61, I think.
He doesn't look that old to me, Ron. Here's the 1-1 pitch off the inside, and the count is 2-1.
I should have said, I was trying to say that his number is 60 or 61.
I've got you. Thank you. I should have understood that. This is, I've got it now. It's Osiris Matos. Osiris. Here's a pitch high, and the count now 2-1 on Cedeno. But it'll be interesting to see how the division race unfolds this spring and summer with Milwaukee. You've got to take Milwaukee seriously, even though they lost their closer.
Yeah.
They've got so many good young position players. Here's a pitch inside. Cedeno draws the walk. They might have as many good young position players as any team in baseball, Ron. Milwaukee.
I would say yes. I would put them in that category of the Diamondbacks also, with a lot of young talent.
Prince Fielder, the home run champion with 50 home runs. Hey, did you see that he's going to become a vegetarian? I did. I saw that.
Well, that's news.
Josh Kroger will take a strike, and the count is 0-1.
What will that do for him? It's 20 home runs.
If it does, he'll go back to perhaps chomping burgers and steaks. Here's the 0-1. It's in there for a strike. No, I was reading a story earlier this week that Prince Fielder's wife gave him an article on how they prepare meat to be delivered to the butcher, and I guess it offended him or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And
well, there's been a lot of that, yeah.
No balls and 2 strikes. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Kroger out on strikes, 2 down. And the batter is Micah Hoffpar. Cubs lead 9-1 in the 4th inning. But Prince Fielder, they've got Corey Hart. He's a good ball player. How about Ryan Braun, the Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, he's going to left field.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Had some problems defensively
Yeah.
at third. But Bill Hall is going to move in and play third base.
Yeah. Gee.
J.J. Hardy is another good young player.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the pitch. The left-handed batter fouls it away, but you've got to take that Brewer team seriously.
Yeah.
And their pitching staff, they've got Ben Sheets, Giovanni Gallardo. We were impressed with him the times we saw the young right-hander a year ago.
Exactly.
Ground ball toward the middle. That's a base hit. A run is going to score, and the Cubs are going to lead by 9. Going to third, the throw by Rowan is late there. Head first slide safe. Cedeno at third. RBI single, Micah Hoffpar. Cubs lead 10-1.
Well, I tell you, they're swinging the bats. The Giants pitchers really, at the start of this game, and Pat even mentioned it, the first inning was, 45 minutes?
Something like that.
Yeah, close. But they just have been behind a lot of hitters, and we're taking advantage, which I like to see.
2 runs in here in the inning. Cubs lead 10-1. 2 outs, men at first and third for Matt Merton. Matt 1 for 2 with a walk, takes inside for a ball. Osiris Matos, the Giants pitcher. Right-hander to right-hander, the stretch, and the 1-0. Curveball in there for a strike. And the count 1-1. Great to have our good friends from Square D back on the broadcast. Square D, part of the power at Wrigley Field. Now the 1-1. Ground ball sharply to second, picked by Velez, over to first in time to end the inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 left. After 3.5 innings in the Cactus League opener, it's the Cubs 10 and the Giants 1. More changes. That's the way it works in these early games in the Cactus League. The starters play 3 or 4 innings, and then it's time for management to take a look at some other personnel. So that's why you have all these changes. Sean Gallagher will continue on the mound.
It's very difficult for a play-by-play guy.
Most guys.
Most guys, not me. I have no idea where we are.
Sam Full is the new center fielder for the Cubs, the little left-hander. The new catcher is Coy Hill. As Gallagher's first pitch to Aaron Rowand is outside for ball 1. Cubs lead 10-1 here in the 4th inning. And the new third baseman for the Cubs is Casey McGehee. So he'll replace Ronnie Cedeno. The next offering, line to left, a base hit. Aaron Rowand is 2 for 2.
Well, no doubt he can hit and he can go get the ball. That was a good acquisition for the Giants. And they got to be rebuilding a team. Bochy, the new manager, and he's the right guy, Pat. I think for a young ball club. And look what he did with San Diego.
He was there a long time.
Yeah.
Won some division titles. Took them to the World Series a time or two. Here is Eliezer Alfonso batting. Here's the pitch on the way to Alfonso. Fly ball to center. Sam Full is right there to pick it off. 1 away. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 4th. Cubs lead 10-1. Here's Dan Ortmeyer. Well, the Giants, Ronnie, as you and I discussed before the game, are in a very difficult division. That National League West is full of competitive teams. In fact, the Giants were the only team that finished under 500 a year ago.
Yeah.
Colorado came on like gangbusters at the end of the year to make it all the way to the World Series. San Diego is going to be good. The Dodgers, with the new manager, Joe Torre, they should be good.
They're going to be down here, in spring training for a few games. Starting,
saw that.
the team's, half the team going to Japan. Is that what it is or what?
They're going to play over in Japan around the 20th or the 21st of March and then stop by here on their way back, I think.
Okay.
Here's the 2-0 to Dan Ortmeyer. Lifted foul down the left field line. Long run, McGehee, no play.
And they're going to take over Phoenix. The A's are going to be somewhere. That's what I heard.
But the Arizona Diamondbacks also part of that Western Division. The Giants will have their hands full in the West this season.
Yeah.
The one thing the Giants do have is some pretty good starting pitching. Here's a ground ball to the second baseman, Fontenot. Makes a short throw to first to get the sure thing. Out number 2, Rowand advances to second. But if you have seen the Giants' young right-hander, Tim Lincecum, you have to be impressed with him.
Yeah.
And also they've got a young guy by the name of Matt Cain, whom we have seen a couple of times.
Right.
And he looks like he might be a big winner.
Yeah.
They still have Barry Zito.
That's right. And Barry's going to have a better year. He struggled last year.
And they've got the kid who started today, who was not impressive today, but he's a good pitcher, Noah
He
Lowry.
sure is.
2 outs. And here is Justin Leone's replacement, Brett Harper, batting for the first time. Cubs 10, Giants 1. Bottom of the 4th, 2 down, a man at second. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. But the Giants without Barry Bonds, without Pedro Feliz.
Okay, Walt gave me a little note here, and you're right. The Dodgers are coming back here to play at Phoenix Municipal Stadium beginning March 20th, while the Oakland A's are going to travel overseas. How do you like that?
Does it specify what city they're going to play in
No.
overseas?
Oh, it just says overseas.
Well, I wish Walt was a bit more detailed on the information.
Well, that's all he had.
I mean, overseas could be any number of places.
Well,
here's the 1-2 pitch.
You're right.
Outside for a ball. The count is 2-2. I mean, Are they going to be playing in Calcutta, India, or Japan, or?
Well, maybe it's Japan. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's Korea.
Could be playing in Spain somewhere. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the pitch on the way by Gallagher. Lifted to left, slicing foul, and back out of play. I know that eventually baseball would like to play more games internationally, the so-called globalization of the game. And the Cubs were over in Japan in 2000 to play a 2-game series with the New York Mets. Those were regular season games. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pulled sharply foul past first. And even, Ron, if you don't actually have a team, a Major League Baseball team, full-time in, say, Tokyo or Korea or somewhere like that, I think what baseball wants to do is just to introduce the game and to kind of get exposure over there so that from a marketing standpoint, here's the 2-2 pitch, high and outside, plus the fact you have so many Japanese stars now coming over to the United States, like Fukudome and like Ichiro and Kaz Matsui, the star for Houston, and some other guys that have made great impact on big league baseball. I think Major League Baseball is doing it from a marketing standpoint. Here's a ground ball, chopped foul right side.
I think football's doing the same thing. I think basketball will probably end up.
Cubs lead 10-1, bottom of the 4th, 2 down. The Giants have a runner at second. Cubs have scored in every inning so far, and they are out-hitting San Francisco 12-3. Gallagher, the Cub right-hander, fires. The pitch fouled away, right side. Again, these early games in the Cactus League, they are just exhibitions. That's what they are. The players are getting in some work, and the pitchers are getting loose, and the batters are getting their swings. But they are not really similar to what you'll see during the regular season.
No, not at all. And you got to realize, too, and I think the players with the Cubs realize there's only one spot right now open. And you could look at the pitching. Somebody stands out during spring training. But when it really gets competition, when there's 2 or 3 spots, that are open. But at least you got to think of yourself as a minor league player that what you could show in case somebody gets hurt. That's how I know one thing. That's how Lou saw things, and the way he maneuvered our ball club last year was tremendous.
Now the 3-2 Harper fouls another one away. That's about 6 fouls. Well, you're right, Ron. Very seldom does a big league team go through the season without injuries.
Oh, absolutely.
It just happens. It's part of the game, and the depth of your organization is always being tested.
Yep.
And it's right down here in the spring where General Manager Jim Hendry and Manager Lou Piniella and scouts.
And I still believe Jim Hendry is not done making moves. I mean, it's still, I understand Roberts is still there. I don't know if it's going to happen, but, you're looking at different situations. He could be looking for a center fielder, but again, you really have 2 young center fielders here that can get the job done.
Now Gallagher again. The pitch line foul deep to left, slicing out of play, away from a charging Matt Merton, who raced over to take a look. Well, let me ask you, Ron, what do you think the odds are that the Cubs will make a trade of some significance between now and opening day?
Exactly. I do.
Think the odds are good?
I think the odds are good. Yes.
Full count on Harper. The left-handed batter waits, and the full count pitch. Line toward left center on the run. Merton in the alley. Can't get there. It's up against the wall. Bouncing off the boards in left center. Coming in to score is Rowan on a double by Harper. And now it's 10-2. Harper earned that two-base hit.
Yeah, he battled up there, hit quality at bat. Anytime you see that, you always figure that hitter's going to have the advantage. Because, you know, it's like you foul off some real good pitches, Pat, and then that pitcher gets a little upset and says, okay, then here's this. Here, take this fastball. See what you can do with it.
You kind of wear him down a little bit.
Yeah, well, he gets a little frustrated.
Eugenio Velez, the batter, left-handed hitter, swings and fouls it away. Well, I enjoyed your visit with Lou Piniella. Speaking of the Cubs management, Lou very, very confident about this team.
Yeah, very confident. Very, and you could see the team is confident. We're deeper. We're better than we were last year.
Here's a pitch low and inside for a ball. It's 1-1.
I think the big difference is going to be Fukudome and Soto's going to make a big difference. And now we'll see what happens in center field too.
Now the pitch chopped slowly foul right side.
But I like our bullpen. Our bullpen, we haven't seen. We got some young guys here. Seda, Escaño, and these two guys have great arms. Seda kind of reminds me of Zambrano. Big, throws hard, good sinking fastball, slider. You never know.
1-2 on the left-handed batting Velez. Gallagher comes back. Got him looking, strike three called. Nipped the inside edge, and that's that. Giants get a run on 2 hits, leave 1. After 4, Cubs 10, San Francisco 2. The totals after 4 innings, the Chicago Cubs 10 runs on 12 hits and no errors. The San Francisco Giants 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. Cub home runs today, a 3-run pinch hit blow by Mike Fontenot and a solo blast by Felix P.A. Ryan Theriot had 3 hits before he departed. And now Coy Hill batting for the first time. Coy, a catcher in the Cubs system, takes low and inside for ball 1. Fred Lewis is the new left fielder for the Giants. Now the next offering is a fastball strike, a new pitcher on the mound for San Francisco.
A left-hander.
Sometimes we do not get the information that we desire. Here's a high fly ball left center, deep but very playable for either Lewis or Rowan, and it's Lewis to make the catch for out number 1. So Coy Hill is gone on a fly ball to left. And Sean Gallagher will leave for a pinch hitter. Substitutions coming.
Well, where was Gallagher hitting in the lineup? 9?
7. Here's the pitch. Swung on and foul back and out of play. This is, let's see, who is this now? This would be Josh Donaldson. Donaldson batting for the Cubs. Stocky right-handed batter. Donaldson waits, and the 0-1. Fastball. There's a strike right down the middle. San Francisco with a new pitcher. This is left-hander Jack Tashner. Bright and sunny, warm and beautiful here in Scottsdale. The temperature in the low 80s. And I almost hesitate to say that to our audience back home.
Yeah.
Because I spent the winter there, and I know how dreadful it's been. And there's some more snow in the forecast tonight, we understand. It's just been relentless. Ronnie and I will have more baseball for you this Sunday against the Cubs and Giants over in Mesa at Hohokam Park. Here's a ball low and inside, almost being hit by the pitch was Donaldson.
Are we playing, who are we playing Sunday?
The Giants.
Again? We're
Yes.
playing them tomorrow and Sunday?
3 of the first 4. Cubs 10, Giants 2, top of the 5th, 1 away, nobody on. Tashner, the left-hander, kicks and fires. The pitch lifted to right, toward the line, long run. Wynn's replacement is there to make the catch. And that's the second out in the inning. Sam Fold is going to bat for the first time. Sam, little left-handed batter, Lou Piniella, and many others in the organization, very high on Sam.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who has all those intangibles you like.
You got it.
Scrappy.
Yep. He's a gamer.
Defense, team-oriented, steals bases, hits the ball all over the place. Not a big power guy.
Good outfielder. Good arm.
Lefty to lefty. Here's the pitch to Sam. It's a strike. The fans are seated right down below Ronnie and me in spring training. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Fold, and it's in there. Nope, it's outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think I recall you telling somebody to sit down last year.
I said it in a very pleasant manner.
I don't think so. I think it was sit down.
1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the first 4 times I requested it, I was nice, and the 5th time I got a little cranky. Here's the pitch fouled away. Speaking of Cub fans, and there are always great fans here that want to be remembered back home, a young couple, Andrew Bronstein and Laura Yockey, would like to say hello to Laura's mom, Catherine, listening in back home. Very nice young people. Here's a swing and a high pop fly. Fold is going to be retired on the pop fly to second, and the Cubs go 1, 2, 3. So for the first time today, the Cubs do not score in an inning. We've played 4 1/2. It remains Cubs 10, Giants 2. Pat Hughes and Ron Santo with you from the Cactus League. We're in Scottsdale today, and for every preseason ball game, these games are brought to you by our good friends from Unique Indoor Comfort on the WGN Cubs radio network. Bottom of inning number 5, Cubs 10, Giants 2. And left-hander, I do believe this is Neil Kotz into the game pitching for the Cubs.
That's who it is.
Left-hander fires outside for a ball. Ball 1 to Justin Leone. Here's the pitch. Down low for a ball, and the count 2-0. Kotz struggled as a Chicago Cub a year ago, spent most of the season in the minor leagues. Here's a bouncer foul left side. He appeared in 16 games with the Cubs and then was sent to AAA Iowa, where he spent the majority of the season. Pitched only 16 2/3 innings in the big leagues a year ago. Neil Kotz. He's got a great arm. He really does.
Yeah, he's got a very good arm. And,
fastball outside for a ball. It's 3-1.
control has been his problem.
Yeah. Baseball history is full of guys with great arms who just could not throw enough strikes with those great arms.
Well, and what happens also when a guy's got a great arm and he can't get the ball over, he eases up. So you instead of you hitting a 93 mile an hour fastball, you're hitting an 89 when you're ahead in the count.
Bounce foul past third. Ronnie, the count 3-2. As a hitter, do you sense that sometimes?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, if he's missing with everything, you think, okay, he's going to let up and groove one right.
Well,
about now.
it's like, you know, you don't let up that much. It's not like throwing a fastball and then throwing a changeup, but you let up just enough to get it over the middle of the plate where it's very hittable.
Ball 4, a curveball down in the dirt. Now, there's something, Ron, that has always made me kind of wonder. A 3-2 breaking ball to a guy who is not right in the middle of the order.
No.
And again, I'm sure it's much more difficult than it looks, but I always
And
thought,
it's spring training.
yeah.
And for some reason, I think Cott's getting behind and then going 3-2. Normally, you're going to see the fastball in spring training, but he felt maybe I can get the breaking ball over better than I can the fastball. You know, you never know how pitchers think.
Would you want to know how they think?
No.
Didn't think so.
No. It would really screw you up.
Wouldn't want that to happen to you, Ron. Here's a line drive base hit into left field. Stopping at second is Leone. A sharp single to the opposite side by Fred Lewis. So Lewis at first. Leone at second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Cubs lead 10-2. And here's Kevin Franzen. Again, Cubs tickets available. Plenty of tickets available for the season. Give the Cubs a call, 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Or you can go online and visit Cubs.com. Cubs.com, you can also find a lot of juicy details about the private life of Ron Santo.
Oh, it's really private.
Just click on the website where it says juicy and go from there. 0-1 on Franzen. Now the pitch. Foul back, out of play. 0-2. Cubs have 59 players in camp.
Yeah.
20 non-roster invitees. They've got 30 pitchers that they're going to look at. There are 6 catchers, 13 infielders, and 10 outfielders. Here's a chopper foul. Most teams have, I'd say, between 50 and 60 players in their camps.
Yeah, well, you know what's amazing? We got 20 non-roster players in camp.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot. But I guess with the team that's pretty well put together, you can do that. You want to bring in and see what you have as non-roster. and it gives you more of an opportunity.
Here's a pitch high. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cubs lead 10-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Neil Kotz fires. Curve slap foul off to the right, out of play. Here's an interesting number, Ron. Thinking of the roster, the Cubs enter this season with only 4 new players on the 40-man roster from the conclusion of last year. That's not a big turnover from one season to the next. The 1-2 popped up foul might be playable, and the catcher Coy Hill runs over and makes a good catch. 1 away here in the 5th. Cubs lead by 8 runs.
I really like Corey Hill as a catcher, and he had an opportunity to be the number 1 catcher after Barrett left, but he just didn't hit. And he's a switch hitter. He's got a good swing, but that's been the problem. But he's my kind of ball player, meaning he's another guy that's a gamer.
Nate Shearholtz, the batter, a big left-handed hitter, takes low and outside. It's 1-0. Have not yet been given the attendance figure. I see only a few empty seats down the lines.
I think it's a full house. I really do. I mean, yeah, there's some seats that are vacant, but what's this hold? 10-5?
Right around 10.5, 11, somewhere in there.
10-5, I think.
You got some folks seated on the grassy hillsides out beyond the fence.
They count those.
Here's the 1-1. Bounce slowly to the right side. Kotz backhands, bobbles, no play. Everybody is safe. Kotz, the pitcher, ran over toward first, tried to backhand the ball. It was slowly hit, and he could not glove it cleanly, overran the ball, and everyone was safe.
Well, that's a situation where he's trying to get to the base before he gets to the ball. And that's what happened right there. He took his eye off the ball and just didn't get a hold of it. He gets it, he's out.
Kotz charged with an error on the play. It loads the bags with 1 away. And the pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-0. And this is Tyler Walker. Scratch Walker. This is Clay Timpner. 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 Taking a pitch that bounces away from catcher Coy Hill, but not far enough. The runners hold.
Nice job. Got over that ball in a hurry.
Cubs lead 10-2. All of the guys who started the game for the Cubs are now on the bench. Lots of youngsters getting a chance to play. Bases loaded, 1 down. Kotz to Timpner. A swing and a pop-up foul back behind the plate as the catcher Hill might have a play. Yes, makes the catch. Timpner fouls out to Hill. 2 down. Two gone, and here is Rodriguez. Guillermo Rodriguez batting for the first time for San Francisco. Cactus League Baseball today, brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort on the Cubs WGN Radio Network. Now the pitch. Rolled out towards short, glove by Blanco, throws to first, got him to end the inning. Good play by Andres Blanco, the shortstop. Showed good range, moving to his left, made the pick, straightened up, fired to first to end the inning. The Giants get 2 hits and a walk, but they walk away empty-handed at the end of 5. Cubs 10, Giants 2. Tashner, the Giants' left-hander, to face the Cubs here in the 6th inning. Cubs lead 10-2. Cubs have led all day ever since they got a run in the first inning on a wild pitch. Ryan Theriot scored the first run. Cubs got 2 in the second, scoring on an error, and then Derek Lee had a sacrifice fly. The Cubs erupted for 5 runs in the 3rd inning. The big blow, a 3-run pinch hit home run by little Mike Fontenot. And Mike leads off this 6th inning and takes down low for ball 1. Also, Kosuke Fukudome and Derek Lee had run-scoring hits in that 3rd inning rally. Felix Piet slugged a homer in the 4th. Fontenot pulls a ground ball to second, short hop by Velez, and he throws out Fontenot. 1 away. Andres Blanco, the batter. Blanco 1 for 1. That leadoff spot very productive for the Cubs today. Ryan Theriot had 3 hits. Blanco singled his first time, so collectively the leadoff men are 4 for 4. Here's a foul off to the right, out of play. Finally, getting back, you were talking earlier about the additions of both Fukudome and Giovanni Soto will play every day all season, or not every day. A catcher never plays every day, but he'll play probably 4 to 5 times a week. Here's a high pop-up, shallow left. Coming in is Fred Lewis. The shortstop will make the catch. Larry Stevens pulls it out of the air, 1 down.
I think, Pat, this year, if I think what Lou's going to do, because our bench is going to be much stronger, is give everybody more days off. He feels Theriot was a little tired at the end of the year last year, and so he's hoping that, we stay healthy. You give these guys a day off, and of course we've got to get off to a good start. That's important. That's one priority that Lou talked about. Last year we were 9 games under 500 June 2nd, and just made a move. Was it 900?
I believe it was. 22 and 31. Here's a bouncer to center. Towards center. Diving stop by Stevens, and he throws to first in time. Good play by the Giants shortstop. Cubs go 1-2-3 after 5.5. Cubs 10, Giants 2. Jose Seda was acquired by the Cubs organization from the San Diego Padres back in July of '06 in the deal that saw Todd Walker go to the Padres. That was one of those deadline deals. And Seda did a good job in the minor leagues last season at both Peoria and Mesa. And the Cubs are very high on him, and he is one big kid.
Yeah, he's a very big kid. Pat, you mentioned 6'4", 275, but he's got big legs and good sinking fastball. I would say he throws a heavy ball and a good slider, and they like this guy. I mean, we got him for, who'd we give up?
Todd Walker.
Todd Walker, yeah.
Here's a foul out of play off the bat of John Bowker. Cubs lead 10-2, bottom of the sixth inning. Cactus League opener from Arizona. We thank you for joining us. Again, no broadcast tomorrow or Saturday, and Sunday, Ronnie and I will have the game, same time as today, 2 o'clock Central. Cubs and Giants from Mesa. And in that game, Ted Lilly will pitch against Matt Cain for the first few innings. Tomorrow over in Mesa, again, no broadcast. Carlos Zambrano to start for the Cubs. Jason Marquis gets the nod on Saturday against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Now, we're hoping to see a different Marquis, Pat, this spring. Larry Rothschild sat down with them, and you know, he just would never throw over to first base.
Strike three call. Good curveball, Ron.
Yeah,
go ahead.
A mental problem and pitching out. So that hurt him a lot. He still ended up winning, what, 12 games or whatever it was? Something like that. And now this spring, he told him, you're going to have to, we're going to be out there every day. You throwing the first, pitching out. And so far, he said he's looking good, but you don't know once that game starts what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like Saturday, he might go out there and all of a sudden not be able to throw over there again because of the mental. And this happens to a lot of players in the big leagues. You know,
Bounced fair inside third, past a diving McGehee down the left field line, a base hit. Over to Glove it and get it back in as the Cubs left fielder. And it's a one-out single for Brett Harper. Eugenio Velez batting for the Giants. 10-2, Cubs lead here in the sixth. Marquis' final record last year was 12-9. But you're right, he pitched a lot better in the first half.
Oh yeah,
of the season than he did in the second.
Second half, he wasn't even. They didn't start him in postseason.
Line to left center. That's in the gap. Base hit toward the alley. Pass pulled all the way to the wall. Harper around third, heading home. He'll score on his way to third. A sliding triple for Velez. And it's a 10-3 ball game. Velez slapping one to the gap in left center. Bull thought he could cut that ball off.
Yeah.
But he couldn't.
Well, you have to try. I mean, you know they're going to score. If he cuts it off, they may not score.
10-3 ball game. One away, a run in, a man at second. Here's Justin Leone. Seda's pitch, curve in the dirt, blocked by Hill nicely, 1-0. Cubs, the division champs a year ago. And, of course, everyone who follows the Cubs is well aware that this is the 100-year anniversary from their last World Championship way back in 1908. Here's the 1-0. What's interesting to me, Ron, the Cubs are looking to advance to the postseason in consecutive years.
Yeah.
For the first time since 1908.
That's nice.
Two balls and no strikes on Leone. The next offering, fastball strike. 2-1.
I would say left-handers have a better shot with Seda than a right-hander.
Kind of intimidating, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is.
Big right-hander from the Dominican Republic misses inside, and the count now is 3-1. Very little breeze in Scottsdale today. In fact, almost no breeze. The 3-1. Popped up foul and back out of play. He challenged him with a high fastball.
Yeah.
Again, the Cubs were 5-2 against these Giants in the regular season a year ago. Took 2 of 3 in Northern California and took 3 of 4 at Wrigley in a series in July. Swing and a miss. He got him.
Good fastball.
In on the hands. 2 down, and the batter will be Lewis. Go ahead, Ron.
This inning, Pat, they brought up 3 out of 4 guys left-handed.
Lewis to face Seda. This season, the Cubs will play the Giants at AT&T Park in late June and early July in a 4-game series. And then they'll meet for the only time at Wrigley Field right before the All-Star break. July 11, 12, and 13.
We're playing 4 games?
3 at Wrigley and 4 in San Francisco. Yeah. Here's a fastball outside, and the count now is 1-0 on Lewis. Cubs lead 10-3. Last of the 6th. 2 down, a man at third. The pitch. Off the inside edge. That's ball 2. Activity in both bullpens. Again, the relievers are going to work 1 inning, 2 at the very most for both teams. Here's a fastball outside. Seda behind in the count. 3-1. Now the big right-hander comes back 3-1. And Lewis chops it foul off to the left and out of play. You and I were laughing at some of the stuff that was sent to our booth today. It said here, I'm just going to read this word for word. It says, somebody will make a donation to the WGN Radio Media Kids Fund.
I didn't say that now. I said,
no, I'm just repeating.
Yeah, I know.
Here's Lewis taking inside.
Oh, and I saw media.
We always thought it was Neediest Kids Fund.
Neediest.
Maybe that's been changed, Ron.
No.
2 outs, 2 on. 10-3. Cubs lead. Bottom of the 6th inning. Jose Seda now to face the Giants' right-handed batter. And the pitch on the way. Look out. A fastball.
Whoa.
Up near the head. Ball 1.
Wow.
Brian Bocock is the batter.
He almost got.
What were you going to say, Ron?
No.
1 ball and no strikes on Bocock. Brian made that nice play at shortstop to end the top of the inning.
I thought that was Steve.
Sometimes names are changed in the Cactus League because the play-by-play guy does not want to say no name, so he sometimes makes up a name. I can't speak for other guys, but I know we've had a variety of characters in games over the years in the spring. Now, in the regular season, it's a little different. You know exactly who's playing at all times, or most of the time. But here, sometimes...
oh, it's difficult. Very difficult.
Humphrey Bogart warming up in the bullpen. Here's a curve in the dirt, and coming in to score is Lewis. A curve in the dirt. Coy Hill, the catcher, ran over, grabbed the ball, and tried to throw home, and his throw hit the batter in the back. I don't think I've seen that before.
No, I haven't either, but he had no choice, and Seda was not at home plate. He was a little late.
Yeah, he sure was. But Hill made a backhand flip
Yeah.
and hit the batter, Bocock, in the back. Safe at second is The runner Velez, here's a pitch in there for a strike, 2-2. Again, Ramos Ramirez and Alfonso Soriano did not play in this game. They will be in the lineup tomorrow. They're healthy. They're fine. They're not hurt or anything.
Lou he's going to work things a little differently this spring. I don't mean as far as playing time, but give the guys a road trip first day, a day off, and then probably Lee and Fugidome will have a day off.
Here's the ball down low, ball 4. Sata's control a little shaky in this inning.
And I don't think he had that problem in the minor leagues. I thought he threw more strikes. Lou's going to make a switch here.
You're right, Ron. I'm reading here about Sata. It says he has never, ever walked a man in his entire career before today. So you were right on that one.
Right on.
Lou Piniella walking out to the mound to visit with Jose Sata. On that wild pitch a moment ago, the Giants scored their 4th run. It's 10-4 Cubs in the 6th inning. And Lou's message was very brief and to the point to Jose Sata. Probably like, kids, settle down, throw strikes. Come on.
Yeah.
10-4, 2 outs, 2 on, Giants 6th inning. And Nate Scherholtz batting for San Francisco. 7th inning stretch once again will be sponsored by Citgo this season. Here's the pitch. Drilled to deep right, down the line, foul and hooking out of play.
And usually you'll see that after a manager walks out and says something, and then the hitter has to have in his mind he's going to throw right down the middle. Fastball. And he did. Sometimes the manager doesn't get back to the bench before it's out. That's very true.
Here's the 0-1.
I remember Leo did that a lot. Gee.
Scherholtz takes inside, 1-1. A run in, 2 outs, 2 on. 6th inning, Cubs lead by half a dozen. The 1-1 inside almost hit him. It did hit him. They're loaded with 2 down.
That's it. That's all. Lou's out there.
A pitching change will be made. For a quick oil change, go to Jiffy Lube. A new young pitcher will come in for the Chicago Cubs. We'll be back in a moment. 6th inning, Cubs 10, Giants 4 on the WGN Cubs Radio Network. Left-hander Carmen Pignatello, the new Cubs pitcher, and he'll try to get this final out of the sixth inning. The Giants have the bases loaded. Rajay Davis, right-handed San Francisco batter, will take a strike from Carmen Pignatello. Carmen, a very likable young man. Spent some time in the big leagues a year ago. Chicagoland native Carmen Pignatello.
Yeah, good man.
Next pitch fouled away by the right-handed batter, and the count is 0-2.
He's a guy, a left-hander that's finesse, change-up, good sinker, curveball. Carmen makes his home in Aurora, Illinois. The pitch, swing and a miss. He got him.
Very
Excellent
good
job.
Yeah, great job.
Pignatello striking out Davis on 3 pitches to get out of a bases-loaded jam. The Giants settle for 2 runs, and they leave 3. At the end of 6, Cubs 10, Giants 4.
Exclusive Weather Channel forecast.
Today's Cubs game brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort on the WGN Cubs Radio Network. With Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Scottsdale. Cubs 10, Giants 4, top of inning number 7. Josh Kroger will take a strike, and the first offering by the new pitcher Brad Hennessy makes the count 0-1. Brad Hennessy's next pitch fouled away by Kroger. Kroger struck out his first time up. He took over for Kosuke Fukudome. Kosuke reached base all 3 times. Fukudome was hit by a pitch, had a base on balls, and had a run-scoring single in his Cubs debut. He was not really challenged defensively in right field on any play that I can recall.
No.
Now the next offering, it's wrapped on the ground to short. A charging Bocock will make the play to first in time. 1 away here in the 6th inning. And the batter, Micah Hoffpar. Cubs will make their home debut in the Cactus League tomorrow at beautiful Hohokam Park.
Yeah, we're playing the Giants, and then they go to normally we do the game on Saturday, but we won't be. But they'll be in, where are they on Saturday? They're playing
over in Tempe.
Tempe, yeah, Angels.
Sunday, Ronnie and I have the Cubs-Giants game for you from Mesa. Here's the pitch. Hoffpar fouls it at the plate. I want to tell you about the third annual Race to Wrigley 5K run. It's scheduled for Sunday, April 13th at 8 a.m. The race begins right near the ballpark at the corners of Clark and Addison, continues through the Wrigleyville neighborhood, and finishes with a run down the Wrigley Field concourse and under the famous marquee. That's not Jason Marquee, that's the marquee outside the ballpark. Here's a pitch outside, the count 2-2. But that is scheduled for Sunday, April 13 at 8 a.m. Here's a curveball pulled on the ground to the right side, and Velez throws out Hoffbar, 2 down. Two gone. Andres Torres batting for the Cubs. Again, all of the starters on both teams are done for the day. In fact, I see somebody running out on the warning track. I think that's Neil Kotz. There's a fastball high. That's something you see in the Cactus League that you will not see in the regular season.
No, but even I know when I played, you'd be out of a ball game, you had to go out there and run about 10 sprints.
I'd like to just see a guy try it during the regular season. Ball game in June or July.
Yeah, sure.
Just go out and run when the other team is on the field.
Well, you get a few guys that are running from the stands. They're completely nude, but
yeah, that's happened too. Maybe that's where you get the warning and the warning track. Here's a pitch low and inside, swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Seventh inning, Cubs lead 10-4. But for more information about that Race to Wrigley 5K run, visit Cubs.com. Torres batting for the first time. 2 outs, bases empty. Seventh inning, kind of a lazy Thursday afternoon here in Scottsdale. The pitch outside, ball 4. Torres at first. 2 down, and here's Coy Hill.
Coy hitting left-handed, a switch hitter.
Hill had a home run against these Giants in a game at Wrigley.
Yeah, I
last
was
year.
just thinking about that.
He took Lincecum. He took Tim Lincecum deep.
Oh, really?
With a line drive homer to the right field seats. Yeah. Coy Hill, nice young man.
Yeah.
That was one of 2 home runs that he had in a Cub uniform last season. Two out, short lead by Torres. The stretch by the right-hander Hennessy, and the pitch swung on and missed. 1-1. Coy Hill, born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, makes his home in Lawton, Oklahoma. There's a ball outside. The count 2-1. Hennessy's 2-1 pitch. Curve pulled fair inside first, down into the right field corner. This might drive in a run.
Yeah, it will.
Torres flying around third. He can really scoot. He's going to score standing up. A double for Hill. Cubs lead 11-4.
Well, he ripped a fastball that was down and in, and boy, he got that by first base, and they were kind of playing him towards right center. Right fielder had to go a long ways for that ball.
And that Torres can fly.
Yeah. Where did we get Torres from? We just picked him up this year, didn't we?
Well, it says here Torres has been in the organization for 12 seasons.
I knew you were going to say that. Because you don't know where we got
The last 3 years, he has lived right next door to you in Bannockburn, Illinois. Here's a pitch inside for a ball.
I could tell when I said that. You didn't know.
Torres was signed by the Cubs as a minor league free agent last November.
That's right.
Says he has never even been to Bannockburn, Illinois. There's a pitch outside for a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cubs lead 11-4 here in the 7th inning. Coy Hill, a big RBI double a moment ago. Here's the pitch. Hit off the hands to the ground to first. Fielded by Ortmeyer. He takes it to the bag to end the inning. I don't think that's Ortmeyer, but I never did get the change. Cubs get a run on a hit, leave a man. After 6.5, time for the stretch. It's the Cubs 11 and the Giants 4. Jose Ascanio is the new Cubs pitcher. He is a right-hander. This will be our first look at Ascanio. They tell us he has a very good arm.
Yeah, he does.
Ascanio acquired in the Will Oman trade last December 4th. Again, he's just a kid, only 22 years old, from Venezuela. Jose Ascanio, a 6-footer, 170. Fastball low and outside, ball 1 to the Giants' leadoff hitter. This is Guillermo Rodriguez. Ascanio to Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. Ascanio averaged about a strikeout per inning in the Atlanta minor league system a year ago.
What was he? Did they say what minor league?
He was in Double-A Mississippi for most of the year, Ron. And then he also got into 13 games with the Atlanta Braves. He was 1-1 in the big leagues with an ERA of 5. Fly ball deep right, playable, however, and pulling it down is Torres for out number 1. 1 away in the 7th inning. Cubs lead 11-4.
Torres can also play, center as well as right or left.
I was impressed with that speed.
Yeah.
Here is Bowker, John Bowker, batting for the Giants. 1 away, 7th inning. Cubs lead by 7. Ascanio fires a strike. 0-1. In case you missed the news earlier regarding Mark DeRosa, the surgical procedure was labeled a success by Cubs team physician Dr. Stephen Adams. Dr. Adams did not perform the surgery, but we understand that everything went very well. DeRosa is expected to be back here in the Phoenix area by the end of this weekend.
Yeah.
And maybe able to get back onto the field within a week or so. So that's good news.
That is good news. He's a valuable product on this team, boy. Last year, what a year he had.
Clutch hitter.
Oh, very. and just a good guy, great in the clubhouse.
Got some leadership qualities.
Oh, very definitely.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Bowker. Ascanio coming back, and the pitch popped up left side, shallow left. Backpedaling and calling is McGeehee, and he makes the catch in foul territory for out number 2. Two gone, and here is Harper. Harper, nothing for 2, flied out and grounded out. Cubs lead 11-4 here in the Cactus League opener, and the fastball is low and inside for ball 1. Now several guys running on the warning track out in left and left center field. Here's the 1-0, a swing and a miss. Good change of pace. 1-1.
You know, another thing about Mark DeRosa is the fact that he can play all positions and play them well.
How about the way he played right field?
Oh, my gosh. And third base.
Mm-hmm.
And he's played short.
Bounce to first, glove cleanly by Hoffar, underhands to Ascanio. The play goes 3-1, and the Giants go 1-2-3. And at the end of 7 innings of play, the score: the Cubs 11 and the Giants 4. Sam Fold hits the first pitch in the 8th inning on the ground to third. It's gloved by Leone over to first for out number 1. Cubs 11, Giants 4, 8th inning. And the batter, Mike Fontenot. Cubs baseball today brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort on the WGN Cubs radio network. Again, we are delighted to be bringing baseball to you. Cubs and Giants. Cubs have led all day and lead 11-4 here in the 8th inning. Deep drive right center. On the run is the Giants center fielder Lewis. It's over his head up against the wall. This is going to be a 3-bagger for Fontenot. Around second, the relay will not be made. A sliding triple for little Mike Fontenot.
I'll tell you, boy, he is swinging that bat. He hit the 3-run homer, and that ball was to the deepest part over the head. I mean, that was a rocket.
A 1-out 3-bagger for Mike Fontenot.
Now playing first base and batting 7th, number 47, Travis Ishikawa. Ishikawa, the new Giants first base.
Ishikawa?
Could be. Infield in, and a pitch hit in the air to right center. This is going to drive in a run. Making the catch is the right fielder. That is Taylor. Tagging and scoring is Fontenot, and the Cubs lead 12-4. Sacrifice fly that time by the Cubs leadoff man, and here is, well, we're getting a lot of changes, to be very honest with you. I'm not sure exactly who that was that delivered the sac fly. We'll get it to you in a moment. Pitch by Hennessy is in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1.
Well, we got a lot of the non-roster players now.
Here's the 0-1. Line toward right in the corner. Slicing in the corner. That's a fair ball up against the wall. Rounding first, heading for second is Casey McGehee, and he's got a standing two-bagger. Cubs with 15 hits in the game. They lead 12-4 in the 8th inning. And the batter is Kroger. And the pitch by the Giants right-hander, it's down low for ball one. Scratch Kroger. This is Bobby Scales.
I was just looking at that. 73.
Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. That's what he is, Ron. 11 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error for the Cubs. 4, 6, and 2 for the Giants. Scales looks at a ball down low. We always get notes from Cub fans. Let's see. Ed Schulmeister from Crystal Lake, Illinois, wants to say hello to, again, I'm just going to read it. It says to Snarf and all the guys in Crystal Lake.
Snarf?
Mm-hmm. We are assuming that's a nickname. Here's the pitch.
Yes, we are.
In there for a strike, and the count 2-2. Almost sounds like a snail that would bark, doesn't it? Snarf. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball toward first. Glove, tough hop, but it's made by Jackson in time to first to end the inning.
Almost a snail that would bark?
A snail and arf, you know.
Oh,
best I could do, Ron.
Oh,
short notice.
Horrible.
Cubs get a run. Thank you. Everyone's a critic. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. After 7.5. Cubs 12. Arf, arf. Giants 4. If the Cubs score an insurance run today, it will be brought to you by Geico Insurance. The Geico Insurance tallies. We hope there are a bunch of those over the course of the season. We go to the last of the 8th inning. Ron, I know you've been wanting to mention this. Go ahead.
Well, there was a buddy of Kent Spazoo.
I'm sorry?
Well, I don't know. I think it's Spazoo, something like that. Anyway, I think you know who you are, and you were supposed to be here with your buddy, but you're home because your mother is not doing well, and he just wanted to say hello to you. And I don't know his name because he didn't tell me. But I wanted to mention your name.
Well, we'd like to say hello to all those folks with the name of Spazoo who might be listening in. Here's the 0-1.
How would you pronounce it?
Just the way you did, Ron. Here is a ground ball to third. McGeehee's throw is late to first, not in time. Infield single. And a leadoff base hit here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 12-4, the Cubs lead. Travis Denker batting for San Francisco for the first time. Ascanio ready for the Cubs. The right-hander fires. Good fastball strike. 0-1. Thanks to all the sponsors for coming back and joining us on Cubs Radio again this season. And we think, again, you never know, but we all have a very good feeling about the season coming up for the Chicago Cubs. So if you are a fan or a sponsor, you could be in for a mighty enjoyable ride in the next 6 or 7 months.
Well, I think most definitely we will. And as I always bring up, if everybody stays healthy, and when you have key injuries, that's difficult. But at least we're deeper this year than we were last year.
Fly ball toward left, pretty well hit. Back goes the Cub left fielder. Torres makes the catch, and that's out number 1 here in the last of the 8th inning. Denker flies to left. 1 gone, and Fred Lewis the batter.
And the pitching line for the Chicago relievers. For Stead, 2/3 of an inning.
Ryan Dempster, the starter for the Cubs. He worked a couple of innings. Sean Gallagher worked a couple. All of the Cub pitchers have looked free and easy, thrown well today. Nobody has really struggled, Ron?
No, not. I would say Zeta.
A little.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit, but what Lou was looking for today was Dempster. I mean, how he was going to do, and he did very well. He gave a home run, just a couple hits, and wasn't it a couple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did a good job. Did a good job.
Cubs offense with 12 runs and 15 hits, more than enough. They lead by 8 in the last of the 8th. Ascanio's pitch, a fastball, is outside. And the count 2-1. Ronnie, there was a story in the paper today, the USA Today sports section, involving Scott Spiezio, former postseason hero of both the Cardinals and the Angels. And Spiezio has been released by the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
A warrant was filed for his arrest for driving under the influence. Also some other charges, hit and run, aggravated assault and battery. All kinds of. Deep drive to center. Back goes full. This ball's over his head and up against the center field fence on a bounce. Rounding third and heading home is Denker on his way to third with a head-first slide and a triple. Is Fred Lewis. He hit that ball a ton.
Well, he hit that. You could hear the crack of the bat. I'm sure some of the listeners. That's when you meet the ball perfectly.
Wow.
It was against the wall. How high up was it?
Well, it bounced and then hit up against the wall near the 430 sign.
But it was a rocket.
So now it's 12-5. But Spiezio, a utility player and a very good pinch hitter, released by the Cardinals.
Yeah. Gee.
He's had some problems.
Yeah. Know his dad well. I played with his dad.
Curve outside for a ball. Spiezio missed more than a month last year getting treatment for substance abuse. 35 years old. Well, he's had some big hits.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. He had that big 3-run homer in Game 6 in the 2002 World Series for the Angels against the Giants that really turned that World Series around. And he had numerous clutch hits as a Cardinal in his short time with St. Louis.
Yeah, he really, every time he came to play with the Cardinals, I recall him coming up with some real big hits.
Liner caught by Fontenot for the second out in the inning. Holding at third is Lewis. And you always wonder, a guy at 35 that has had problems now with the law,
This will be number 6.
if he will get another chance. He may not.
Yeah.
Two outs, a man at third, a run in. It's 12-5. The Cubs lead the Giants.
How old is
I think 35 is what the
well,
story
35,
said.
yeah.
Yeah. The left-handed batter waiting for San Francisco. Again, this is another new player in the game. This is Mike McBride. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Scratch McBride. This is Ben Copeland. So McBride in for a very short time in this game.
Boy, he got out of there quick.
Well, he just wasn't impressive enough, Ron. Copeland waiting for the 1-1 from Ascanio. Here it comes. Fastball rides outside. 2-1. Some of the folks have headed home. Did we get the attendance figure today?
I'm saying that it's got to be in that 9,000 range. What do you think?
Here's the 2-1, and it's high for a ball. The attendance. Oh, we might be getting it right now. 402. Ronnie, I think you were a little bit heavy. I think I heard the man say 402.
Yeah, I thought I heard him say that too.
3 balls and 1 strike. 2 down, a man at third. Ascanio delivers again. Inside, he hit him. Fastball nailed the right-handed batting Copeland on the right arm. And Copeland wishes it was McBride instead of himself that got nailed. Here is Mark Gardner batting for San Francisco. Larry Rothschild wearing that trademark blue Cubs jacket as he runs out to the mound.
You think he's warm?
I think he is. He likes to wear that blue jacket, though.
Yeah.
Larry Rothschild, very capable pitching coach. The Cubs' team ERA last season was second in the National League, and let's be honest, that's why they won the division.
That's right.
Pitching.
That's right.
And that's usually the way it works.
Yeah.
And you, as an everyday player, certainly you appreciate scoring runs. But the longer I'm around this game,
oh yeah,
the longer you realize it's pitching that wins.
Yeah, starting pitching, and too.
Holding the other guys
That's
down.
right.
Give your team a chance to win. Close out games if you have the leads late. That's what it's about. 2 outs, 2 on, a run in, 12-5 Cubs, 8th inning. Ascanio's pitch down low for ball 1.
And, of course, Larry Rothschild was the pitching coach for Cincinnati when Lou Piniella won the World Series that year, was it?
1990.
Yep.
Fastball inside, and the count is 2-0.
They get along well, and he relies on his coaches.
Alan Trammell, the bench coach.
Yeah, good man. Alan managed the Detroit Tigers.
Big chopper into left field, a base hit. A big bouncer over McGee's head at third. A run will score. Going to second. The throw late there. It's an RBI double. Runners at second and third. And now it's a 12-6 ball game.
Yeah.
Rajay Davis with a run-scoring double down the left field line. That was a ball that took a big high hop over the head of a leaping McGee at third.
It was like a tennis ball. It was so high.
Yeah. And a big curveball is high to the next batter, Guillermo Rodriguez. Ball one. 10 hits for the Giants now, 15 for the Cubs. Curveball floats in high, 2-0.
They got anybody else loosening up?
I see some bodies in the Cubs bullpen. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I see anybody actually throwing. There is a fastball low in the count now, 3-0. Cubs built up a big lead, now just trying to hang on in this Cactus League opener. Here's the 3-0 pitch.
It's a big out here.
Fastball smokes in there for a strike, 3-1. Cubs baseball today brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort. Now the 3-1. Fouled away over our heads and out of play, 3-2. Ascanio with a full count, 3-2, 2 outs, runners lead at second and third. The pitch. Fastball is low and they're loaded.
God. That's it. He's motioned for a right-hander, I think.
So apparently somebody is warm in the Cub bullpen. Ron, Lou Piniella to make a change. For a quick oil change, go to Jiffy Lube. 8th inning, Cubs 12, Giants 6. Back in a flash on the WGN Cubs Radio Network. Kevin Hart, the new Cubs pitcher, bases loaded, 12-6 Cubs lead, last of inning number 8. And let's see if Hart can get the final out of this 8th inning. Steve Holm is the new batter for the Giants. Holm, a left-handed batter, to face Kevin Hart. Kevin impressed us with his poise under pressure as he came into the big leagues last summer. Here's the right-hander's pitch. Big chop slowly, right side, tough play. A charging Fontenot, gloves, short throw to first, got him. Good play.
All right.
The ball took a tricky hop at the last second, but Fontenot made the adjustment and got his man. The Giants settle for 2 runs and leave the maximum. We've played 8 innings in the Cactus League opener. It's the Cubs 12 and the Giants 6. Michael Hoffbar will lead off the Cubs' ninth inning. Cubs lead by 6 as the final inning gets underway.
With 2 innings, last 3.
First pitch is down low. Actually a called strike, and the count is 0-1.
2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both there, a walk. And
Brian Wilson is the new pitcher for San Francisco. And his next offering, line towards center, knocked down. Good play by the second baseman, Velez, and he throws him out. Good play.
Wow, that was a good play. Outstanding play.
Hoffbar robbed of a base hit, 1 down. And here's Torres. Ronnie and I were looking. In fact, it was something I think I noticed as the pitching change was made in the bottom of that last inning. I don't believe that was Ascanio who was roughed up for the 2 runs. I believe I saw a number 71 as he left the mound. It might have been Esmaelan Caridad. So if indeed that was the case, we would like to correct that. These things happen in the Cactus League.
And especially the first day in the Cactus League. And to be honest with you, we were not getting any help. Patrick, should be getting some help from me, but I'm unable to give it to him.
I understand, and you sound very remorseful about not being able to. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I don't know half these guys. I'm not talking about our team, but the other team.
Here's a pitch outside. The count 2-2.
But I'm glad that you were honest about it, because we didn't want.
Strike 3 called. 2 down here in the 9th inning. Torres caught looking. 12-6 Cubs. And the batter, Coy Hill. I think I've told you the story before, Ronnie. I was doing a game many years ago. It might have been with you, or it might have been in Milwaukee with Bob Uecker, I forget, but it's funny when I think about it. We never got the change of a pitcher in the game. And as the final totals were being read after the game, we get, winning pitcher Larry Smith. And we had never mentioned Larry Smith's name during the game. And here he was, the winning pitcher in the game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside for a ball, and the count is 1-1. Our engineer, Walt Ellis, working with us today, and Walt kind of sitting back with his arms folded.
Doing a good job.
Here's a ground ball diving stop by Velez. Another terrific play by the second baseman to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cubs 12, Giants 6. Kevin Hart got the final out of inning number 8. He will start the bottom of the 9th and try to close out the festivities here this afternoon. Cubs 12, Giants 6. Ron Santo has left. Seriously, he has left the booth to head down and try to beat some of the crush of traffic, which always takes place right after games here in Scottsdale. We're getting close to the rush hour, so Ronnie will head down to try to beat some of that traffic, and he'll be back with us on Sunday afternoon when the Cubs take on these Giants over in Mesa. Travis Ishikawa batting for the Giants, leading off this 9th inning, and Ishikawa takes outside ball 1. Cubs will play these Giants tomorrow. They'll play the Angels Saturday and the Giants again on Sunday to start the Cactus League season. Here's a high pop-up towards short, and Blanco will make the catch for out number 1. Ishikawa pops out to short, 1 gone in the 9th. Kevin Hart has retired both batters he has faced. And here's Emmanuel Burris. Burris batting for the first time today. Cubs lead by 6 in the 9th with 1 away. Hart fires. Low and inside for a ball. And it's 1-0. The attendance today, 7,533. 75-33. One of the segments we did not do today was this date in baseball history. We normally do that sometimes in the spring, though. The historical facts on a particular day are a little bit thin, or rather insignificant, so we certainly will do it every single day during the regular season, and occasionally in the spring we will do a this date in Cubs history. Here's the pitch, broken bat pop to short. Easy catch for Blanco, and that's out number 2. And now the Giants are down to their last chance. But anyway, we would like to thank AT&T for sponsoring this date in baseball history and Cubs history again this season. Cubs with home runs today from Mike Fontenot and Felix Pie. Fontenot's a 3-run pinch hit blow. Ryan Terrio was 3 for 3. Kosuke Fukudome reached base all 3 times. Ground ball to third, and that's it. McGehee throws out the Giant batter Denker, and the Cubs have won the Cactus League opener by a score of 12-6. Kevin Hart works a 1-2-3 9th inning. The final, the Chicago Cubs 12 and the San Francisco Giants 6. We'll be back with the totals right after this on the WGN Cubs Radio Network.
From WGN Newsroom, 9 people were in.
The game totals here in Scottsdale in the opener for both teams in the exhibition season for 2008. For the victorious Chicago Cubs, 12 runs on 15 hits and 1 error. For the San Francisco Giants, 6 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. The winning pitcher, Ryan Dempster, and the losing pitcher, Noah Lowry. 3 hours and 8 minutes of baseball in front of a Scottsdale Stadium crowd of 7,533. The Cubs win by a score of 12-6. Our thanks to Walt Harris, our producer-engineer, for a job well done. Thanks to Corey Provis for doing the pregame show earlier, and I believe Corey is waiting to do the postgame show back home, if I'm not mistaken. That is indeed the case, so please stay tuned for that. And for Ron Santo, it is Pat Hughes saying thank you very much for listening to this opener. A reminder, our next broadcast is Sunday afternoon when the Cubs take on the Giants over in Mesa. Game time, 2 o'clock Central Time, with the pregame show with Corey Provis beginning at 1:30. That's this Sunday afternoon right here on the network. Once again, the final score today.
This is the Cubs Central postgame show on News Talk 720 WGN, sponsored by Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating. In a real nice way to begin the 2008 season as the Chicago Cubs scored 12 runs on 15 hits. Let's go through the box score right now. Ryan Theriot, 3 for 3, scored 3 runs. Kosuke Fukudome in his Cubs debut went 1 for 1 with an RBI single, was also hit by a pitch and drew a walk. Derek Lee drove in 2 runs. Felix Pie, a real nice day for the young center fielder for the Cubs. He went 2 for 2, scored 3 runs, also with an RBI. Mike Fontenot homered, a 3-run shot to right, also with a triple to straightaway center field. But that was all after Ryan Dempster got the start. 2 innings, 1 earned run, struck out 2 and gave up 2 hits as the Cubs go on to win the Cactus League opener over the Giants by a final of 12-6. Coming up, we'll play some highlights for you in just a bit. Corey Provis back inside our WGN Network studios. Let's update the scoreboard. Beginning first in the Cactus League, it's gone final between the White Sox and the Rockies. Colorado with a split squad game today, and the Sox beat up the Rockies 12-3. The final, the Sox with 18 hits on the afternoon, including 2 RBIs from Nick Swisher. The Sox lost yesterday 7-3. Jose Contreras pitched very well today. 3 innings, 1 hit, and 1 unearned run as the Sox beat the Rockies, again the final 12-3. The other squad for the Rockies playing as we speak, top 9, and the Diamondbacks lead that Colorado team 5-4. Texas and the Angels are tied at 2 in the 4th, and Milwaukee defeats the A's 7-1. Ryan Braun in his debut in left field for Milwaukee homered this afternoon. Claudio Vargas got the start for the Brewers. He went 2 innings, gave up no runs on 3 hits. Again, Milwaukee defeats Oakland by a final of 7-1. over in the Grapefruit League. Everything's gone final. The Dodgers and Joe Torre's debut with the Dodgers rally for 3 runs in the 9th and beat the Braves 5-4. Tim Hudson got the start for Atlanta in that game. The Marlins with 15 hits against Baltimore. They go on to beat the O's 16-3. Cody Ross with a home run for Florida. Wandy Rodriguez pitched well for the Astros, but the Astros bullpen could not hang on as Cleveland defeats Houston 12-2. Rodriguez 2 innings of scoreless baseball and struck out 3. The Reds beat the Twins 6-1. St. Louis blanks the Mets 7-0. Anthony Reyes 3 scoreless innings for the Cardinals. John Maine got beat up today by the St. Louis offense. An inning and 2/3 for Maine, 4 hits and 3 earned runs. Pittsburgh behind home runs from Adam LaRoche and Nate McLouth defeat the Phillies 11-6. Ryan Howard homered in a losing effort for Philadelphia. And Detroit beat Toronto by a final of 4-1. Curtis Granderson went deep this afternoon for the Tigers. But today in Scottsdale, the Cubs win their Cactus League opener, defeating the Giants by a final of 12-6. Highlights coming up next on the WGN Cubs Radio Network.